Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Basketball Buckeyes are 1-0. Christoph Tilley's 28 points powered Ohio State to a 118-102 win over IU Indianapolis last night at the Shot. Bruce Thornton had 26. Devin Royal added 22. Ohio State will host Purdue Fort Wayne Friday night at 6:30. In college football, number 1 Ohio State's at Purdue this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Buckeyes are 28.5-point favorites. OSU's head coach Ryan Day will speak with the media at noon today. We'll carry those comments live on The Fan. Coach Day will also join a special Tuesday edition of Buckeye Roundtable tonight at 6:30. Ohio State's going to host UCLA next Saturday for a 7:30 p.m. kick on NBC. And the first set of college football playoff rankings are out tonight at 8, while the NFL trade deadline's at 4 o'clock. The Bengals sent linebacker Logan Wilson to the Cowboys for a 7th-round pick. This update is sponsored by Green & Sons, family-owned and operated for over 45 years. Find your next Kubota tractor at Green & Sons in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville and Raymond.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
Let's do it live on a Tuesday edition of the program. Bo the Boys with you for the next 3. NFL trade deadline is today. We will continue to monitor it as the day goes along. The Bengals already involved in a deal this morning. Not a major one, but a deal nevertheless this morning. Get you all the details on that. 9:45, Ari Wasserman, the Athletic, on 3 going to drop by. He was here this weekend. The college football playoff poll, the initial one drops tonight. Get his perspective on what he saw from the Buckeyes and what he expects to see tonight. We hit you with the real truth at 10 o'clock. Uncle Dom dropping by at 10:30. And at 11 o'clock, we blitz the National Football League. Today's a big day. It's a big day. You got Election Day, you got the trade deadline, and you have the first college football playoff poll. Among the things that I've enjoyed the most in the many years that I've been doing radio at this fine radio station is year 1 of the college football playoff rankings in 2014. AR and I were doing the show at that time, and these things would come out, and there's a great deal of anticipation on how they would be ranked. And even then, I remember us having the conversation many times about why are they ranking anybody beyond 4? Why would they rank anyone beyond 4? Because you just set yourself up for trouble down the line. The other thing that we didn't realize in those days was that the College Football Playoff Committee at that time, and again, it's a 14 playoff versus a 12, but what we didn't realize at that time is that they did not have a poll mentality. We didn't realize it. It was the only thing we knew. Now we're kind of used to it. They can do whatever they want with this thing week to week. But in the old days, the poll mentality was, if you win, you stay. This is 11 years ago. In other words, you can win by 3 or 4 points against a lesser opponent, and somebody behind you isn't going to jump you. You were where you were ranked. You stayed in that spot, and as long as you kept winning, you would not be passed. That was in the AP poll. That was in the old BCS for the most part. It was certainly in the coaches poll. That was any sort of human element in the poll. There was a poll mentality where if you win, you're not going to fall. And so as we were going through this thing in 2014, there was this understanding that, or this belief, I should say, that you, as long as you won, you'd continue to stay where you were and you would not be jumped. Now, here's something that's pretty interesting, and we'll get the first look at the 2025 version of this tonight. Very likely the Buckeyes will be number 1, but don't panic if they're not. It really doesn't make much difference. This is the first college football playoff rankings from 2014. So if there were a 4-team playoff in the week 1 college football playoff rankings 11 years ago, this is how it would have looked. Mississippi State would have been the 1. Florida State and Alabama would have played in the 2-3 game, and Ole Miss would have been the 4. So it would have been Mississippi State against Ole Miss in one semifinal and Florida State-Auburn in the other semifinal. That's what it looked like week one. I mentioned poll mentality. This is the second to last college football playoff rankings in 2014. Alabama was number one after beating Auburn 55-44. They then would play Missouri in the SEC title game. Oregon was 11-1. They beat Oregon State in the Civil War 47-19. They would play number 7 Arizona in the Pac-12 title game the following week. TCU was number 3. They had just beaten Texas 48-10. They would play Iowa State the following week. Number 4 was Florida State. They were undefeated, beat Florida. They would get Georgia Tech in the ACC title game the next week. The Buckeyes were 5, having beaten Michigan 42-28. They would get Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game the following week. Baylor was number 6. They played Texas Tech, beat them 48-46, would get number 9 Kansas State the following week. That was the top 6. Those were the teams that we were concerned about. The next week, in those final rankings, they did something that had never been done. TCU beat Iowa State 55-3 and fell from number 3 to number 6. Baylor beat Kansas State 38-27, moved up one spot. The Buckeyes moved into the poll at number 4, and the rest is history. Florida State was 13-0 and was the 3 seed. By the way, they were the defending national champions, and 13-0, and were the 3 seed in the very first college football playoff, final college football playoff rankings. All of that to say, when this thing comes out tonight, understand, I think now all of us are smarter. We all understand how this thing can go. All that really matters is the final poll. I'm curious if I'll never understand. I guess I understand why they rank 1 through 25. They're making a television show that has to be an hour. But there is no good reason to rank 1 through 25. There just isn't. They should just rank the 12, and then they don't get themselves in trouble with how they rank people versus on a week-to-week basis. If you just rank the top 12, it'd be much more malleable for them. So that's the first thing that I think that they shouldn't do. The thing that you not worry about is this. Well, you shouldn't worry about anything. You're Buckeye fans. You got nothing to worry about. But if you're not number 1, don't panic. Because what's going to happen at the end will be a lot of movement based on a couple of factors. Number 1, this is a human element. It's human element. So you can say whatever you want in that final poll. We believed they were better. We believed this win was better than that win. The thing that I don't think you will see this year is I don't think you'll see Ward Manuel put his foot in his mouth the way he did a year ago.
I don't know if you're seeing Ward Manuel anyway. I don't think he's on the committee. So
you won't find anybody like him, Reese. You won't find anybody like him putting their foot in the mouth and putting something out there like he did a year ago, saying we will not penalize teams who lose their conference championship games. I don't think you're going to see that anymore. I think you're going to have whoever is running this committee this year, and I haven't even bothered to look it up. I think they're going to be much more close to the vest week to week doing this ridiculous television show. And we're all going to watch it. We're all going to respond to it. But the reality is you're going to be fine. This first one doesn't mean much.
What they did yesterday, I don't know if you saw, they put hats on a hat rack as they were making their way into the selection room. And I guess burn tape for the last 24. They'll be 8 o'clock. They'll be grinding tape and watching film for 24 hours straight to make sure that they can get the most accurate depiction of 25 of the top college football teams in the country, and then try to put them in a bracket somehow that includes Notre Dame, that will include Memphis. And the rest is all just fun for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So it looks like we'll get to hear from Mack Rhodes, who's the AD at Baylor and the chairman of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee for this year. Bo, for every reason you just said, I don't care about tonight. It's going to be a TV show, right? They're going to try to get people to watch, and a lot of people are going to be all up in arms. I just heard Brett McMurphy on T-Bone and Tyvis say he thinks they're going to have Indiana at number 1. I've heard a lot of people say that. And if that happens, Buckeye fans are going to be all up in arms. Who cares? Just handle your business, Ohio State. You're always going to be fine in this thing. You just do what you're supposed to. You're going to be okay. You're going to get your shot at Indiana, hopefully, come the first weekend in December, and you can prove on the field who's better than none of this matters, right, until you get in the college football playoff. And the Buckeyes proved that last year.
Yeah, there's I think that they will be smarter this year not to entrap themselves.
Oh, they'll have better coordination, I think, with ESPN and the guys that ask the questions. I do think in past years, what they've done this disservice to themselves is not have everything available until the unveiling.
Yeah.
It's like maybe give them a little extra notice so they can start preparing the proper questions that keep everybody in lockstep. It will be interesting as you are watching, if you're watching on ESPN at 8 o'clock, because Timmy Hall and Tyvis Powell are going to break it down on the Fans YouTube channel. So that'll be your watch-along piece as you are seeing, was it Mac Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes, whoever, discuss why they put X team where.
Cody.
Could be. I mean, they're in bed with ESPN, so that, you might have stumbled upon something. Every week it's a different WWE wrestler.
So they're going to build this. This is going to lead into Texas Duke basketball, right? That's the idea. So Duke and Texas play at 8:45. So this will kind of lead into that a little bit. I do think that they are, and this will be something that we'll obviously talk about ad nauseum for the next 6 weeks. But I do think that when you get to that conference championship weekend, they will choose their words very carefully. And the other thing that they will do, and this is something they're going to have to do, is they're going to have to do their best to separate especially ACC and Big 12 one-loss teams from SEC three-loss teams. That's where this is going to be decided. Last year, they went in favor of the records. They put SMU in, they put Indiana in, they went with records, and they let it all be. And Ole Miss and Alabama were on the outside looking in. Well, the SEC lobbied, and they talked about strength of schedule, and they've added that as a metric. Now, it's all arbitrary, right? We're to believe that Tennessee's good. And so how will they manage those 9-3 teams? Because there's going to be a bunch of them. We're going to do our own little how we think this is going to go coming up at 10:20 in terms of how we think the 12 is going to go. Here's a little hint. Last year, the initial college football playoff poll pretty closely mirrored the AP. There's not a whole lot of difference in week one. It's not the most flashy thing ever, but typically it's pretty close the first time out. But we'll see. It'll all be unveiled tonight in what is a busy, busy day. We got election day, we got NFL trade deadline, and of course we have the college football playoff rankings, the first ones coming out tonight. All right, coming up next, we're going to get back to the football coming up at 9:30. Coming up next, we'll get into the Buckeyes debuting on the hardwood. New court, new team, lots of points. What do we make of it? We'll get to it coming up next. We're off and running on a Tuesday. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We're known for three things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Dormar, you're pilot hero.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the number one selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
We've all got our daydreams, right? Little things, big things, things you know one day you'll do. Then out of nowhere, cancer. And all your plans don't change a bit. I would know. I'm about to jump out of an airplane with my dad. Our first time skydiving solo, and my second year since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health. All right, Let's go. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans. Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in Columbus. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and I'm a big believer in saying thank you when something actually works. So thank you, Awaken 180. And they're actually saying thank you back right here in Ohio with $500 off every new program through Thanksgiving. I started around this time last year, dropped 65 pounds for the holidays, and 15 more in free maintenance. Awaken 180 works, and now's the time to do it with $500 off. Thank your new self when you're 30 or 80 pounds lighter with the medication-free solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
It's Thursday Night Football on the Fan. Catch the Raiders and Broncos live from the Mile High Club. Fan coverage starts Thursday at 8.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000. 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A mix of sun and clouds for us today, but a little bit warmer. Daytime highs will get up right around 60 degrees with a lot less wind. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy, becoming clear overnight with lows in the 40s. For Wednesday, warm and windy with plenty of sunshine. That'll boost those highs in the upper 60s to some spots right around 70 degrees. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it. Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed, you are. In the first college football playoff rankings are out tonight. Timmy Hall and Tyvis Powell break it all down live at 8 on the Fans YouTube channel. Where are the Buckeyes? What's next? Find out tonight at 8, only on the Fans YouTube. I was looking at this in the break, those initial college football playoff rankings of 16. 2014, Ohio State was 16th, which is now almost incomprehensible that Ohio State with one loss would be ranked 16th in the country. The team one spot ahead of them was Nebraska. So just think about that. Nebraska was a spot ahead of them in that initial poll. Here's the other thing, and this is what leads to, I think, how delusional fan bases can be. Mississippi State, Dak Prescott, Dan Mullen was number 1 in the country, but Auburn was 3. Probably Malzahn. Ole Miss was 4. Ole Miss was 4th in the country. Probably Hugh Freeze at that time. That is what folks think they're entitled to, right? You're hearing all this consternation about why these guys are fired and why do we have all these openings. It's because this is what they believe they're entitled to. Auburn believes they're entitled to be there, number 3 in the country. That's what they think they're entitled to, and that's where it comes from. And it's wild what teams have sustained through all of it and teams who have vacillated. But I mean, like Michigan State was 8th in the country in that initial college football playoff poll. They had beaten Michigan the week before 35-11. And look at that program now. So wild stuff. So I'm always interested to see like what has happened to programs over what has now been over a decade. I got a text from a good buddy of mine last night. I had youth basketball, so I wasn't able to watch the Buckeye game last night. Not sure that I could have, even if I wanted to. Buddy of mine texted me, he goes, "So where are the Buckeyes?" Well, I said, "Well, they're always on the Fan to listen." He goes, "Yeah, I know, but where can I watch?" I said, "It's on a Big Ten Plus thing, I think." So he couldn't get it. Who could get this? And this is, I think, the root of the problem. This isn't a college basketball problem. This is a sports problem. We, the collective we, the fans, are being leveraged and have been leveraged for a while by these streamers and by these apps. And it's to the point where if you don't care quite enough, is it worth the hassle to find it? And I think for a lot of people, it's not. It's not worth it. If it's easy and I can get there and I can open an app, if it's on Peacock, okay, fine. I've had Peacock for a while now because we know that that's where they hide some things. All right, fine. I can get there. I'm in. I probably haven't logged into it in 6 months, so I'm going to have to redo the logins and all of that stuff. We all get it. But I'll find it. This was on a Big Ten Plus, so he couldn't get it. Were either of you guys able to watch this last night?
Yes.
So you were watching it on the Bad Boy streams, or where did you get it?
No, so I have the Hulu with live sports option. Because it does give me the Big Ten options. I don't know what the Fox ESPN bundle does, if anything, but I also get Turner and Max, and you're going to need those because there are 2 first-round college football playoff games that will be on that station, December 20th or something. So it has everything. But, yes, it was one of the Big Ten Plus options. They have those alternate channels.
So there's a bundle, Reese, just so I understand. There's a bundle that has a Fox-operated, Big Ten is operated by Fox, BTN.
So I don't know if that's part of the Fox ESPN one, but I have Hulu with the live sports option, gives me all of it.
I think it's very possible. I'm paying for ESPN Plus like 4 different times.
It's not great.
Very possible that I am. Bake, were you able to watch?
So I was here last night working the board for the Ohio State basketball game.
So you get to listen.
So I was listening. Jacob Reimer was in here as well. And Fish may or may not have bought a subscription to Big Ten Plus for people that have to cover these games. So Reimer had it on his he had it on his iPad, whatever, his tablet, except he was quad boxing every college basketball game. So it was in a very small corner of the tablet. It was like a 2x2 square, but we could see it if we wanted to.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if we ever get to a point. I mean, I think I know the answer to this because you're being leveraged by these streamers and you're being leveraged by these apps. But the NBA, and that's owners. Like you think about what happened in Phoenix where they just said, look, these games have to be able to be seen. And I think college basketball is probably the biggest sacrificial lamb in all of this because they're the ones who are propped up on all these different apps. And everything else, it's kind of a couple of apps here or there. Although, look, Blue Jackets, Cavs, like the FanDuel stuff's a problem too for a lot of people.
Bo, I know this was a different world and a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's the reason that I love Tom Hamilton used to be every Ohio State basketball game. I think it was through a company called Raycom, if I remember. Raycom.
Yep, Raycom.
Was on CBS. It was on Channel 10.
Channel 10.
If it wasn't a big national basketball game, you got Tom Hamilton and Bill Hoskett on the call of OSU basketball at St. John Arena, and it was awesome. And you've got to make these games accessible to fans to watch, and let's get over the blackouts. Like, it's a different day and time. Quit blacking games out for people. Like, you want to get fans, they have to be able to get your games.
Yeah, I don't know if they have properly. I'm curious if this is working. Like, I know it works for football, like, because you play once a week. But how many people last night just said, oh, my God, I can't find it. Fine. On to the next. I'll watch Monday Night Football. I'll watch whatever. Now, it's a perfect tip time.
Even that was a problem.
Right. If you're on YouTube TV, you can't watch that. Live sports.
I do think like this this might be like the inflection point with all of this, of what have been series of inflection points between YouTube TV and Disney. Like, is this
ESPN has drawn, it feels to me, Reese, like ESPN has drawn a line in the sand and said, we aren't going to acquiesce. We are going to force you to watch everything on ESPN+. That's what it feels like to me.
Because if you look at all the offerings for Friday, because I'm just jumping ahead to the next time the Buckeyes play, and I do believe Ohio State, Purdue, Fort Wayne's on Big Boy BTN. So if you get Big Ten Network, you'll be able to watch that at 6:30. But we'll have fan pregame coverage starting at 5:30. But every other thing's ESPN Plus, SEC Network, ACC Network Plus. And I think I keep thinking back to your point when you had, when Chris Holtmann was still coaching the Buckeyes, his fear of the Big Ten leaving their relationship with ESPN, that their product would just be forgotten.
I think he was right.
He is. He was and remains to be, I think.
Talk to the NHL.
Yeah, I think it's a really tricky. It's a great point on the NHL too, Bake. I think it's a really tricky time right now for college hoops, and there are lunatics like Jacob, God bless him, who's going to find it and he's going to do it, and God bless Fish for doing that. But I just think the casual fan is going to say, "Yeah, I'm good." Like this buddy who texted me last night, he's like you, Bake. Like his first love was Buckeye, loved Buckeye basketball, loves it. So like when he says, "Yeah, I'm not," I couldn't watch, so he listened. Which is what I did driving back and forth to practice, which is great. There's nothing better than Ronnie and Big Daddy rocking things. I mean, that's great. It's 118-102. That had to be a fun watch. It
was long if you were working it, I'll tell you that much. Long.
So I got out of practice at 9:10, and Jake was at the podium.
Probably, coach's presser.
Jake was at the podium at 9:10.
Yeah,
and I was listening to the questioning. I was like, "Wait, didn't this start at 6:30?"
It was a long game. I remember Beamer when we got in here last night. Beamer's like, "I'm thinking 9:15 out time. Well, maybe 9:30. Well, we're going to do our best to hit 9:45."
When are you finally out?
Going. I think by the time we did everything we had to here, and you have to upload sound and send stuff to affiliates and stuff, it was 10:30 when we were leaving the building.
6:30 tip.
6:30 tip. That's a long night. That's a very, very long night. Look, it looks like, and Jake has made a point of this. Last year they played faster than any Buckeye basketball team in recent memory. Looks like they're going to play faster now. They really have three lead guards, because I think Gabe Cupps can do it too. And there was a moment when he had Cupps, Mobley, and Bruce kind of all in, and kind of went for that three-guard lineup. But the two at the top with Mobley and Thornton, and then Cupps coming in as a guy coming off the bench a little bit. Tilly's a stud. I think that's known. You got homegrown guys too. I mean, you think about the guys who have been around now. You think about Devin Royal now as a junior. This is kind of has the makeup of everything that you'd want a college basketball team who could make a run in March to be. You need lead guards who are veterans. You got to be able to shoot it. You need length. It seems like they have that. It feels like that's felt like a nice opener. I acknowledge I did not see it, just based on some of the highlights I saw and some of the write-up and the style of play. This seems like a fun style of play.
Yeah, I think for those who are IU Indianapolis scored 102 points.
Yeah.
That's not great. But Ohio State at several different times, they were up 20, and they finished this, with a 15 or 16-point win. It's not great, but it's game one. And so I think the little things within the game itself, like the three-guard lineup that you mentioned, that with Christoph Tilly, that the pace of play, they had 54 free throw attempts.
Yeah.
So this game was, I think, everything you would come to expect from game one of the season. But I think there's a lot of excitement that was going in, and then you just get the win and you stay healthy. You've got this to build off of. I think you got Notre Dame in a couple of weeks, but it's these mid-majors that there'll be ups and downs the next couple. But it's a lot to look forward to based on the guys that talked about it. I thought Brandon Knoll looked great. I thought the lineup that they have has time to gel, and it will be fun when you get into conference play. Having seen so many different things that Ohio gave you, that Tennessee gave you, and that not-so-secret scrimmage, and then IU Indianapolis.
It is game one.
That's a big sigh, Bake.
I think the defense, that's a little concerning, right? And I don't think Jake was very happy after the game.
No,
the
you could-
defensive side of that. And you were up 16 at half. They played you even the second half. So I do think there's some things to concern. Christoph Tilley is going to be fun. We're going to enjoy watching him all year long, I believe. John Mobley's probably not going to be 2 for 8 very often. He did score 16 points, but it was a lot of possessions in that game. The way I think Ohio State wants to play this year, and the way that IU Indiana team plays there. They shoot a lot of threes. I think they put up 38 last night in that game. So I think this is going to be a Buckeye basketball team that is going to be fun to watch because they're going to score a lot of points. I think it could be frustrating to watch too because they might give up a lot.
Yeah. Style of play wins, though. It wins with the audience. Will it win in March? Will it win in late February when the Big Ten's decided? Who knows? But it wins with the fans.
Does it win in the Big Ten? That's interesting. Yeah.
Can
Does
you
it
take
win?
it to the Big Ten?
Yeah.
You know? All right. Coming up in 2 minutes, the NFL trade deadline is today. The Bengals already making a move with a defensive player. We'll get to that in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here. After retiring from professional football, I never expected that me, Bobby, I'd have low testosterone. So I went to my friends over at Affinity. I got my labs done, and now I've been on a testosterone replacement plan with Affinity for 8+ years. Best of all, they've supplemented it with peptides and lots of other great products. Learn why me and thousands of men trust the experts at Affinity to feel their best. Get more energy, better workouts, feel like yourself again. And do not waste another day. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com today.
Ride off, then write off when you take advantage of the year-end tax break offers at Bobcat Enterprises. Right now, Bobcat has 0% financing for 60 months on compact tractors. Use tax code deductions to maximize your reinvestment power and gain a competitive edge for 2026. Plus, you can lease, finance, or directly purchase equipment and still apply for the tax deduction. Stop by Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard, Reynoldsburg, or Zanesville, or see our full line of products at bobcatent.com today. Offer expires 12/31/25.
5 words no one wants to hear? You need a new roof. What do you do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and these are all questions that run through people's minds when they hear those 5 words. But if you pick up the phone and call Victor's Home Solutions, your new roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. Victor's has thousands of 5-star ratings for both customer service and high-quality installation. Plus, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And since no one wants to pay these high interest rates for a limited time, Victor's is offering 5-year no-interest financing with minimum monthly payments for qualified buyers. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. Victor's Home Solutions has your back. It starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. It assesses the exact condition of your roof and what needs to be done next. Set up your inspection today. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS or online at victors.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a Tuesday edition of the program. NFL trade deadline is today at 4 o'clock. I remember Shefty a couple of weeks ago on with Maddie and AR talking about this would be a very busy NFL trade deadline. So far, not so much. Now, you did have a trade today already. Dallas Cowboys, Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals defensive player going to Dallas. No, not Trey Hendrickson. Middle linebacker Logan Wilson goes to Big D to help out the Cowboys, who were beaten pretty handily last night by the Cardinals. And another one I just frankly did not see coming. And maybe I should have did my rule of what the public was doing. My guess is all of it was on Dallas. Arizona cruised in at 27-17. Shefty said that with those guys. It's been 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he usually doesn't say stuff like that unless it is. But I will be very candid with you. I am shocked that more things weren't done this weekend. I think about a team like the Cleveland Browns, who we were told by Schefter, Mary Kay Cabot had this as well up at cleveland.com, that the Browns would be active at the deadline potentially as buyers as opposed to sellers. You say, well, why would they buy? They They have 2 wins. Why would you buy? Well, the reason that you would buy is because if there is an opportunity to take a depreciating asset with a high ceiling, they will write the check to do it. They did it with Amari Cooper. They did it with Jerry Jeudy. They will do it if there's something out there. I just don't know who's going to be out there. It feels like there's been a lot of buildup to this deadline, but right now it feels like it very likely will fall more flat, because there isn't even really much in the rumor mongering out there in terms of whispers here and there about big time players. Like if this is the Cowboys' big move that they get Logan Wilson, who was, demoted a couple of weeks ago down in Cincinnati, not to say he won't play well for them, but they get a lot more problems than just that based on what we've seen from them the last couple of weeks. That ain't it. So the Eagles have been active early on. They've added to their defensive side. But will this end up being kind of a quiet deadline day in the NFL? It feels like that now at 9:30 plus on a Tuesday morning with still 6 hours before the deadline.
I was about to say you still have till 4 o'clock, but I also wonder with games this past weekend if teams were kind of just waiting to see how those went. Like they were trying to figure out the result of week 9 is going to dictate how aggressive we are, either buying or selling, or whether we just say this is our team for this season and we're walking forward. Like the Dolphins, I expected to be a little bit more active than they've been. I thought they would be immediate sellers Sunday and into Monday, and then Tuesday they wouldn't do anything because everything had already been done. But I've heard one move they've made. Mm-hmm. So I think all other teams are trying to figure out just that right now. But
I feel like maybe part of the problem is some of these teams are overvaluing their assets or overplaying the market. Like we keep hearing the Bengals want a first for Trey Hendrickson. You're not getting a first for Trey Hendrickson, unfortunately.
No.
And again, to me, I understand it's poor asset management if you just give up somebody for absolutely nothing, but he's going to walk for absolutely nothing at the end of the year. So if someone's willing to give you a third and a fourth or a third and a fifth, don't you take that? Isn't that better than him just walking away for absolutely nothing? I think Miami may be doing that a little bit with some of their guys, maybe overvaluing what they feel they can get for them. Maybe as we go through the afternoon here, Bo, and you get closer to, it's like, well, we've got to cut bait. We've got to get something, and we'll see some more deals happen.
This is the reason, if the playoffs started right now, Kansas City would be out in the AFC. They would be the 8th seed, and they would be out. There are currently 8 teams in the AFC over 500, with Kansas City a game over 500 at 5-4. Okay, there are 8. The next closest team to 500 is 2 games under. Now, it's a unique 2 games under. It's the Baltimore Ravens, who, quite honestly, like if you told me them or Pittsburgh right now to win the North, I would roll with them. Based on their schedule, I would take them. I think they're going to win the North, even though they're 3-5.
And they added Draymond Jones yesterday from the Tennessee Titans.
Yes. So they, to me, so 2 of Kansas City and Baltimore, if they're going to find their way in, then others are going to have to fall the way out. And that's where I'm curious if things happen. Think about what happened to the Chargers. They are sitting at 6-3. They lost Joe Alt for the season over the weekend. They lost Rashawn Slater before the year started. If you're the LA Chargers at 6-3, aren't you calling the Cleveland Browns about Joel Bitonio?
Yes.
And Wyatt Teller?
And maybe if you're calling some of the other teams in like the NFC, like maybe the Washington Commanders, do you, now that Sunday's game happens and Jaden Daniels, his elbow goes the opposite way, are you looking to Washington? Or are you looking to a team like Arizona and saying, well, you're 3-5. What could we, what can we get from you?
Who's willing to punt in the NFC? It's more tricky because you've got a bunch of teams at 5-4, 6-3. I mean, everybody in the NFC North is over 500. They all are. So they're all still in it, right? So you have 4 teams there. You got 2 in the South with the Bucks and the Panthers. That's 6. You got 3 in the West. That's 9. And you have Philly. So that's 10 teams in the NFC that feel like they're in the mix. And the Cowboys are 3-5. I don't think Jerry's going to punt on this season yet, although maybe he should. I don't know if the Atlanta Falcons are going to punt on the season yet because of their division, and they're at 3-5. So the AFC, to me, is where if you are trying to hold off Kansas City and you're trying to hold off Baltimore, if you're Pittsburgh, if you're the Chargers, if you're the Jaguars, if you are those type of teams, the Patriots, all of them, if there's a move to be made to enhance your ability to get into the postseason and hold off Baltimore and Kansas City, you think you'd do it. But you got to have dance partners. You've got to have dance partners in this thing. So far, pretty quiet. Offensive line and weapons are going to be the premium today. So that's why I come back to the Chargers, and you just think of the Browns. And I know that all the reporting is that they're going to be buyers, but I don't know how you don't call them about those guards. I really don't if you're them. None of them are under contract after this year. If you're the Chargers, how do you not make that call? Your job is to try to get into the postseason. You have two massive injuries on the offensive line. So that's something to watch a little bit today as the day goes along. What happens in the AFC? What happens tonight in the college football playoff rankings? Ari Wasserman, a good buddy from On3, was here actually this weekend, got his eyes on the Buckeyes up close and personal, get his thoughts on what he observed and where he ranks some of these teams as true national title contenders. That's coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman here for Germain Honda of Dublin. So what's the difference? There are other Honda dealers around. Well, Rich Newsom and his team want to earn your trust. They don't expect it, and they earn it by giving you a great price, and then they back it up after the sale. With same-day service, no appointment necessary, a great variety of brand new Hondas, and hundreds of pre-owned certified Hondas to choose from, all at the same location. Identify yours at GermainHondaofDublin.com. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Hey, does this sound like you where every step or reach is a reminder that it hurts? The pain is there, a reminder of what you're not able to do, how far you've drifted from that life you used to have and love where you didn't have the pain. Listen, if this is you, if this is a family member, you need to talk to them about it. You need to do what I did and go to QC Kinetics. They've got the answers for you, the relief without the scalpel, without the surgery. At QC Kinetics, they tap into your body's own regenerative power. The damaged tissue, it can be healed by itself. It's not science fiction. It's your body's comeback story. The very cells in your body can help you get healed with no surgery, no pills, no long recovery, just remembering how to move and feel alive again so you can golf, hike, do all the stuff you love to do. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus or 380-208-4544. They have offices all over Columbus, so be sure to check them out at 380-208-4544.
Gift big this year with a Home for the Holidays raffle. You have a chance to win a beautiful new custom home or cash prize this holiday season and help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish kids with critical illnesses. Raffle proceeds benefit Make-A-Wish OKI, which has granted over 22,000 wishes to children facing critical illnesses across the Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana region since 1983. This year's house was built by Three Pillar Homes in the Evans Farm community in Lewis Center and has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a 2-car garage. It also includes amazing features like upstairs laundry, 2 covered patios, 1 with a fire pit, a great room with fireplace, mudroom with extended bench seat and open lockers, kitchen and morning room. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th, so get your $100 ticket now. Just visit ahomefortheholidayscolumbus.org to buy your tickets. That's ahomefortheholidayscolumbus.org. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, we've got a problem at Pella.
I like where this is going.
Because of Pella's reputation and quality, a lot of folks assume that we're out of budget.
Oh, that's too... Oh, I hate hearing.
But we've actually got 5 awesome window lines that fit any budget, from the $300,000 to the $3 million home, and far from the most expensive.
So you actually don't have a problem. Awesome.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
Wake up and laugh with the Bob and Tom Show on The Fan 2.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
It says here they've won 5 Marconi Awards. I can't even spell Marconi. The Fan 2, Columbus's home of the Bob and Tom Show.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle. Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score.
Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up, you get early payout on parlays too. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. An app only.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Bo. This is Bishop and Friends.
It was like old home week at Ohio Stadium this weekend. You got Svoboda taking pictures with Gronk. You got Ari on campus for Ari and Andy, which was great to see as well. He's back, of course, one of the voices of national college football conversation. He is, of course, Ari Wasserman on 3. Ari and Andy, wherever you get your podcast. You got your up-close and personal look at your Buckeyes. What'd you think?
They're really good. Is that like in-depth, deep analysis that you're looking for?
Do you think they're the best team in the country with the highest ceiling?
Yes. Let me ask you this, because I've been asking people this, and it's kind of crazy to say out loud, and it may not be true, but it's not crazy to ask. Does Ohio State have the 5 best players in college football all on their team?
Sayin, Tate, Smith, Caleb, Reese?
Yes. And if not, who are you taking nationally and who are you replacing him with? Like, it's a fun game to play. Like, Ruben Bain's really good at Miami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fernando Mendoza's really good. Might be the number 1 overall pick. Like, I don't need to list all the good players in college football. But, like, which one are you wholeheartedly, like, going to replace off that list with the way that they're playing right now?
It's tough. I mean, it's a very valid question. And honestly, there's others who aren't that far off. I guess that's so from your perspective then, because we know here nationally, but when you watch from now someone who was boots on the ground here years ago and now from 10,000 feet as you're covering the national thing, what has Ohio State done that other programs that are similar, and I acknowledge there aren't many that are, can mimic?
Well, first, I think if you go back through my 10 years and the 10 years prior to when I was there, like from 2000 on, there was, 1 or 2 seasons in general that Ohio State didn't fare well, and part of them was because they got in trouble with the NCAA. Like, they are one of the most consistent teams. Ever since the College Football Playoff Committee has been invented, they've been in the mix on Selection Sunday every single time. Mm-hmm. So from that standpoint, excuse me, I had something in my throat. From that standpoint, they're one of the more built to last, indestructible programs in the sport because of their unique recruiting advantage of being the only big-time program in Ohio and all the things that you're very aware of. Mm-hmm. But Ohio State, at times during the 4-team era, was still a top 5 program, but fell behind at times Clemson, Georgia, and Bama. But they were still always there. And what I think has happened is that the changes of the sport have impacted other places more than they've impacted Ohio State. So what's happening here is Ohio State has maintained what it typically is, while other programs that used to get the best of them at times on the national scale have gotten considerably worse. And that makes Ohio State rise above the tide in a way that it's not like they did anything different. Mm-hmm. And the thing that I think that Ohio State does better than everybody else is they get players to come into their program during a transient time through the high school ranks. They develop them and they keep them. Other places are far more reliant on the portal. Other places are not quite as committed to signing top 5 recruiting classes the way that you used to have to do. And it's not like Alabama and Georgia and those teams aren't still recruiting really good high school players. Of course they are. But the way that Ohio State has been able to retain them and not have nearly as much volatility as some of the other programs that used to pop up and get them is a really important thing. Now, the question is, because we're so early in this, is whether or not Ohio State can continue to not be as impacted by them long term. But when you think about this, they are a SEC program in terms of how obsessed people are with them in a major city. Yeah. And they have their entire state to themselves. So it's kind of like, I know Cincinnati's a Power 4 team now, but like still, nobody grows up in Ohio as an elite level player dreaming of playing for Cincy. Like that's not, it's Ohio State and then them. So I just think that they're like situated in a place that like will allow them to remain consistent elite output while everybody else is in a more volatile situation.
And you know, the damnedest thing about this is obviously Ohio State is the bluest of blue bloods, Cadillac of programs as it gets. But then also in the Big Ten, you have the nouveau riche with Indiana. And I'm wondering how much of Cignetti's success these 2 years has impacted what we're seeing around the country. We've never seen anything like this with coaching firings. Never. People, and I'm just curious, you're in that neck of the woods. When you see coaches bounced at these places, how much of that do you think is programs like Indiana, Vanderbilt, Missouri, these teams that flip it quick or build it kind of relatively quickly, really, for all those guys? Cignetti's crazy in 2 years what he did.
Yeah, well, you know, I get asked this a lot because, like, in Clark Lee, too, to a certain extent at Vanderbilt, it's like Brian Kelly was in year 4 at LSU. How the hell is Indiana and Vanderbilt, you know, in a position that they're in where LSU never got there in 4 years? And I think that, like, that's a fair thing to think. I think that Curt Cignetti and Clark Lee have removed any excuses that coaches typically use, which is we need time, we need to get our own players in, we need to develop. It's not an overnight success story, and, like, they're showing it can be done. But the cautionary tale, I think, here, too, is that, like, what Curt Cignetti is doing is not the norm. Okay, it's not something that everybody's supposed to do. It's not something that's easily duplicated. It's almost like, you know, in the 90s, like other basketball players who are in the NBA saying, what the hell is Michael Jordan doing that I'm not? Like sometimes there's just somebody who has something that you don't. And I think making coaching decisions and firings based on the output of something that's remarkable is not the way to do things. Any more than we make decisions in our life based on the norm and the exceptional. It's the same thing with coaching. So, like, I don't know if he's Michael Jordan, but what I do know is he's having Michael Jordan-like finals right now. And I don't know what it's going to do or look like at the end of the year. But, like, Nebraska, for instance, it's like, should Nebraska feel less good about Matt Rule because Curt Cignetti is doing something insanely impressive? Or should they be happy that their team is much, much better than it was 4 years ago before he took over? Like, I still think that you can be happy with what you have without constantly comparing yourself to something that's not normal. Like, everybody lives in a world where someone has more, and that's always going to be true, and it's okay. Now, the thing I'll be interested in is how sustainable is Curt Cignetti's contract and his output. Like, in 6 years from now, it's where we're going to be like, oh, my God, Indiana's paying him $13 million or whatever it is. Like, it's because we get so caught up in the moment, too. So I ramble, Bo. Sorry about that.
No.
But it's like Jed Fish was like the number one coaching candidate in the world 2 years ago. And have you said Jed Fish's name on your show in the last year?
Well,
like,
I have, because I think Washington's underrated. I think Washington's actually pretty good. So we have a little bit. You know, they're a Big Ten team now, but so I got to pay attention.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And they control their own destiny, I think, to the playoff.
I know it. Let me ask you this one, because you got Auburn, LSU, Florida, Penn State. I'm not interested on what you think is the best job, although I'm sure you'd have a fascinating take on that. What I'm interested in is if you're Lane Kiffin, what are you asking? Because my guess is all those places, maybe not Penn State, but the other three are all going to reach out to him. And I don't know that his spot now isn't just as good as some of those. What is the right question to ask if you are at a place? If use Kiffin as the example, what's the right question to ask LSU?
That's a good question. What I do know is that Lane Kiffin is going to set the job market, and no matter what happens, he's going to be the richest coach in America for at least a month until, like, Ohio State and Georgia are forced to give their coaches raises to equate for that change. I think I would be most concerned about what financial buy-in the program that I have has both into NIL and revenue sharing. And I would make sure that I go to a place that's going to give me the most money with the least amount of headache to get a roster that you need. And I think that the reason why that's such a convoluted answer is because, like, I don't know if NIL support or if financial support for your roster is a straight line. Like, 1 year you might pay $20 million for your roster, but the next year you might pay 16. Like, I know that, like, fundraising and funds in general aren't always consistent. So I don't even know how you quantify that, nor do I know if any of those three jobs have enough money to bring to the table more than the competition to make it the deciding factor. And I think everybody's trying to crack the code of, like, Lane Kiffin. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? And it's like, I think that really the code is, what does Lane Kiffin personally want? Where does he want to live? Where does he want for quality of life? Does he like the people? You know, I think those are the things that are going to make the decision here at the end of the year in terms of, like, what does LSU bring to the table that Florida can't? I mean, I think LSU is the best job because of it's like Ohio State in the South. It's the only game in town in a talent-rich state where people grow up. I think that's an inherent advantage.
It is.
I think LSU has the highest ceiling for what they can do for high school recruiting, which I think is very attractive. And something, frankly, Kiffin's really never done that well.
No,
you know that, and that's the funniest thing about this whole thing. It's like Lane Kiffin is the sexiest coaching candidate we've ever seen, and everybody wants him, and all these jobs are open. It's like the man has never won a Power 5 conference before.
No.
So,
but
like,
he looks great in
might
hot
do it
yoga
this year. You know, he does. He has like that nice little, like, you know, V thing that you show when you have your shirt off after yoga.
That's right.
But like, I don't care. Nobody cares about what Mike Elko looks like right now. I'll tell you that.
No.
So,
no, you're right.
You know, it's a very complicated situation. But here's the one thing I will say, Bo, before you kick me off. Think about the 10 best coaches in college football right now. How many of them did the general fan know about or were they familiar with before they took the job?
Great point.
I would probably say maybe 2, 1. I don't know. Like, people knew who Kirby Smart was because he was like a Saban person. But like, did people know who Dan Lanning? Like, did an Arizona State fan know who Dan Lanning was? Did they know who Mike Elko was? Did they know who Ryan Day was?
Nope.
Ohio State fans didn't even know who Ryan Day was till he was in the program for 2 years. Like, it's. So I think that this idea that you have to go, you know, hit a grand slam with your coaching hire the day it happens is like a misnomer. Like, you do not have to hit a home run to score a run here. Like, I think you go get somebody who's a good culture fit, who's, you know, has the things that, you know, it takes to get to the next level. And then maybe you have the best coach and you don't have to do it by just going and getting Lane Kiffin. I think that the inability to think outside the box and to actually analyze the way things are going gets people into trouble. And that's why we have all these buyouts being paid right now.
You're the best, buddy. Do it again soon. Thank you for your time.
Anytime. Yep. Take care.
Right. There he goes. Ari Wasserman on 3 joining us on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Get you the real truth up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Your game day headquarters is here at ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus, the only place to watch and win. Catch every play on more than 30 TVs and over 50 feet of video wall. Score tickets, signed professional and college sports memorabilia, and pen cash prizes. Join the watch parties for every home team game with a tailgate buffet and bucket specials. Plus, get official game day swag with every table reservation. Game day lives here, only at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
It's BOGO week, so use your card for buy one, get one free deals on Kroger brand apple juice, Screamin' Sicilian pizza, and more participating items. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HindererMotorCompany.com.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
With business banking, Tel Ohio Credit Union takes it personally. It's why they are the #1 SBA lender among Ohio credit unions. You are a member, not a number. That's the Tel Ohio difference. Visit telohio.org/business.
Certain restrictions apply. Tel Ohio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, it's Anthony Schlegel. When it was time to replace my roof, friends highly recommended Newman Roofing. From the initial sales process, I was incredibly impressed by their commitment to outstanding customer service. Their 33 years of industry experience truly shine through, and it's clear why they have such an excellent reputation. I had the pleasure of meeting with the Newman family to discuss my roofing project. They presented me with several options and attentively addressed all my concerns and demonstrated a genuine care for their customers and the overall experience they provide. With family members in key roles within the company, they ensure that every customer feels confident in their decision to choose Newman Roofing. I highly recommend giving Newman Roofing a call today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visiting newmanroofing.com.
Call the company you can trust, Newman Roofing, at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here. After retiring from professional football, I never expected that me, Bobby, I'd have low testosterone. So I went to my friends over at Affinity. I got my labs done, and now I've been on a testosterone replacement plan with Affinity for 8+ years. Best of all, they've supplemented it with peptides and lots of other great products. Learn why me and thousands of men trust the experts at Affinity to feel their best. Get more energy, better workouts, feel like yourself again. And do not waste another day. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com today.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. It's trade deadline day in the NFL. Teams have until 4 o'clock to make moves. The Bengals were busy earlier today, sending linebacker Logan Wilson to the Cowboys for a 7th-round pick. Dallas lost at home last night to Arizona 27-17. Jacoby Brissett tossed 2 touchdowns for the Cardinals in the win. One of those was to Marvin Harrison Jr. Week 10 in the league begins Thursday in Denver. The Broncos host the Raiders. In college football, number 1 Ohio State's at Purdue Saturday at 1 o'clock. OSU is going to host UCLA next Saturday night at 7:30. Ryan Day is going to hold his weekly press conference today at noon. We'll carry those comments live on The Fan. Coach Day will also join the Buckeye Roundtable program tonight at 6:30. The first set of college football playoff rankings, those will be released tonight at 8 o'clock. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Get a holiday loan from BMI FCU and choose a loan amount from $1,000 to $5,000. Get it online at bmifcu.org/holiday loan.
If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, let's hit the real truth, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present The Real Truth.
Sponsored by Diamond Cellar. Over 76 years of experience and guaranteed lowest prices on Sawmill Road or diamondcellar.com.
Number 1 Ohio State deserves to be number 1 in the first college football playoff poll. That will be released tonight at 8 o'clock. Is that the real truth?
Yeah, it is. I think if you watch the games, the most impressive win is probably Indiana winning at Oregon. And I think there'll be 2 tonight. And I think that that's appropriate. I think if you are someone who doesn't watch college football, you might look up and see the Indiana scores and go, good grief, like they're just annihilating everybody. But Cignetti's doing that on purpose. That's not what's happening around here. There's a much more self-assured approach that the Buckeyes have. And it's a matter of getting up 4 scores, putting it away, and on to the next. So I do think Ohio State is the best team in the country. I think they have the highest ceiling, and I think they've been the most impressive. So I do think they should be number 1.
I don't even know what deserves means in college football anymore, right? Because, well, we beat this team. Who cares that we lost to these 3 teams? And our losses were tougher than your losses. And I just go win your games, right? If we're saying deserves because they're the best team in college football, yeah, Ohio State should be number 1. I don't think there's any doubt that they're the best team in college football. Hell, Ari just asked, and we did it a little bit yesterday with talking about the Heisman. I don't think it's a reach or a stretch to say that Ohio State has the 5 best players in college football on their team right now.
I haven't thought of it in that context until he said it. But he might be right. It was universally accepted at the start of the year that they had the 2 best in Smith and Downs. Mm-hmm. No one's playing quarterback better than Julian. I don't think there's another receiver playing better than Carnell other than maybe the one in his own room. And then Reese, if you listen to Threes, he's been talking about him doing this for a long time, and he's doing it. So he might be right. They might be the 5 best players in college football all on this team.
There's not a game wrecker on the defensive side of the ball like Arvell Reese in the country, I don't believe.
No,
I believe he's the best at that. Mm-hmm. And we're not even talking about this offensive line that could be the best in the country.
Or the D-line, which has been really good. Really good.
So, yeah, Ohio State is the best team in the country. They deserve to be number 1.
NFL's trade deadline is also 4 o'clock today. The Cleveland Browns are going to be buyers on or by 4 o'clock this afternoon. Is that the real truth?
Well, I'll get into this a little bit more at greater length a little bit later in the show, but I do believe the reporting from Cleveland.com, Mary Kay Cabot, and also from Schefter that the Browns will be buyers. I think the caveat to that is they will be buyers if opportunity presents. They won't do anything reckless with high draft picks. But if you think about the move, I think the Amari Cooper move was a 4 or 5 for Amari. So if there are situations where you have a blue chip prospect who was highly regarded, I mean, this is their type, highly regarded in the draft that maybe hasn't lived all the way up, do they pull the trigger on that? I think they will. One thing you can say, and it's not been a great season, but that ownership group, if there is opportunity to improve the team, they will open up the purse strings to do so. So if something is presented to them today in the next 6 hours that gives them a chance to improve the roster from a talent standpoint, I believe that they will do that.
The way you put that, Bo, kind of surprised they weren't in on Jalen Phillips then a little bit. And maybe they were. Maybe there were conversations. Who knows?
He's a defensive player, though.
Yeah.
They don't really have any issues there.
I cannot fathom them adding right now. And you always have to do that, right? Like if there's something that makes sense for you in the future and the cost is right, yeah, I think almost any team should look at that. You almost have to, but it would be unbelievable to me. It would almost be arrogant to me if this front office decided to add at this trade deadline. Now, again, there's some times where if something's too good to be true, you have to do it. But it's almost just like defying and locking in that, yeah, we really think that we are a good football team, despite all of the things that prove that we're not. It's, I don't know. And again, if there's always something out there to better your team, you have to look at it. So I get that part of it, but everything else says this team should be selling.
Jordan Schultz with this here in the last couple of minutes. 2 teams to watch for in terms of, quote, holy crap trades today are the Seahawks and the Broncos. So those are, like, Seahawks feel like they're there. Like, let's go. So could there be something there for them? Watch out for them.
And somebody had a rumor that the Seahawks might be in on Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah. I mean, what are they? We'll get to the Bengals later, but, like, yeah, get something for him. He's going to walk for nothing. You're not winning anything this year.
I'll paraphrase Shohei Ohtani yesterday at the Dodgers parade, but LA is going to win their 3rd straight World Series next year. Is that the real truth?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they have the deepest pockets. They have one of the smartest front offices that even when they make a mistake, they can fix it because of the pockets. They have become what the Yankees were. That's what they are now. They are what the Yankees used to be. And, there were people who will have fatigue with the Dodgers. There's already people, I'm sure, that have fatigue with the Dodgers. There were people that had fatigue with the Yankees. But you watch those World Series with Jeter and all those guys, Bernie Williams, Mariano Rivera, all of that stuff. You watched it because we like watching greatness. And this Dodgers operation is great. I mean, it's stupefying when you think of their lineup, you think of their staff, and you think that if there are holes, they can just buttress them. So, yeah, I think it makes all the sense in the world they'd win it again.
Are you betting against them? Because I'm not. I'm not betting against them, and there's a reason that ESPN Bet has them as the favorites right now by quite a margin. They're plus 375. Next is the Yankees at 8-1. If I was the Dodgers, I would double down and I would go get the pitcher Will Smith as well to guarantee that we won another World Series, because a Will Smith has won the World Series the last 6 years, whether it be the relief pitcher Will Smith or the Dodgers catcher Will Smith.
Yeah.
So I would just double down on that. And just an interesting note to that, Bo, Will Smith Jr., who's on the Buckeyes, maybe back-to-back national championships this year. Maybe there's something to the name.
How about that? Jeez, that's a lot. All right, coming up next, we will predict the college football playoff bracket. In addition to that, we have Times broadcast partners for the college football playoff that have been announced. The folks running college football continue to run their heads up against a steel wall over and over again. We will get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
There was never a doubt. The defending champion with a successful title defense at the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday.
Commemorate the magic of the season and the 50th anniversary of the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday. Tickets are now on sale for the 2026 tournament. When you purchase by November 14th, you will receive a special edition ornament and enjoy best pricing. Visit memorialtickets.com for more details.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, is it true?
What's that?
Tire Discounters is offering up to $200 off sets of Goodyear tires?
Absolutely.
Plus free alignment and a full synthetic oil change?
You got it.
I'm not one to exaggerate, but that may be the best deal in the history of the world.
But free would be better.
Mike, don't toy with me.
Through the holidays, every day we're open, someone will get their money back on 4 tires.
But I...
Just breathe, Phantom. Breathe.
No purchase necessary and 12/31/25. Visit website for details.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Fraud in government is a crime, and it robs taxpayer dollars. I'm Ohio Auditor of State Keith Faber, and my job is to catch people that lie, cheat, and steal. Report suspicious behavior and help stop fraud. Learn the red flags, speak up, and protect your tax dollars by calling 1-866-FRAUD-OH.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A mix of sun and clouds for us today, but a little bit warmer. Daytime highs will get up right around 60 degrees with a lot less wind. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy, becoming clear overnight with lows in the 40s. For Wednesday, warm and windy with plenty of sunshine. That'll boost those highs in the upper 60s to some spots right around 70 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Drink recommendations, movie reviews, sports discussion, and whatever the hell Reeser does. This is Bishop and Friends.
And as always, we are brought to you by great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for nearly 8 decades now. Buckeye jewelry starting at just $99. College football playoff poll is going to drop tonight. We will do our things in a second in terms of how we think it's going to go. I'm going to give you a little. I think it's going to go mostly chalk, guys. I think it'll be mostly a mirror of the AP. I don't think there will be much movement from it, but when you start to put it out into a bracket, you start to be able to envision things in there. Here is, we also got today their college football broadcast schedule and television partners. So you have that as well. And to just give you an idea of just how absurd all of this is from a calendar standpoint. So it's going to mirror last year's. So there will be a first-round playoff game on Friday night, December 19th. That's an 8 o'clock ESPN game. Then on Saturday the 20th, so this is going to go head-to-head with NFL football. Certainly the last 2 games. The noon game should be unobstructed. The noon game on ESPN on December 20th. And then the last 2 games, the 3:30 and the 7:30 game on Saturday, December 20th, those are Turner. Those are games that ESPN owns and farmed out to Turner to broadcast because ESPN is broadcasting the NFL on that day. So that's the way that'll shake. Or it could be college basketball. Remember last year they had college basketball agreements that kept them from airing those games on December 20th. So it's one or the other. This is where it gets pretty crazy. So on New Year's Eve, the college football playoff on a Wednesday is going to play the Cotton Bowl at 7:30 at night on New Year's Eve. Then on New Year's Day, they are going to play the Orange Bowl at noon, the Rose Bowl at 4, and the Sugar Bowl at 8 o'clock. All of those games are on a Thursday. The playoff semifinals, so that's January 1st. The playoff semifinals will just be 7 days later, will be the first one on a Thursday night, the Fiesta Bowl at 7:30. Then a Friday night, January 9th, and of course this is to avoid NFL playoff games on the weekends because we can't just have dialogue with them. So the Friday, January 9th will be the Peach Bowl. Then the national championship game, you're going to wait 10 days for the national championship game on Monday, January 19th. This is the brilliant plan that they put together. And all of this to avoid the NFL. And I just keep coming back to, why can't we have an adult in the room that goes to the NFL and just say, give us our Saturdays for one weekend? We're giving you ready-made stars. We're going to move this thing back. We're going to get it all done. This thing should all be done by January. So Friday, January 9th, this whole thing should be done by, is Monday, January 12th? Should be done then. There's no reason for this thing to last this long into January. And it's going to get worse. It's going to go that I think the one in 2027 is like the 29th or 27th of January.
So you've got 2027, January 25th, and then the 24th, 22nd, 21st through to 2029. So this will be the earliest. This upcoming national championship game will be the earliest of the next 5.
I'm guessing they probably did go to the NFL, and the NFL told them to pound sand.
Yeah,
I don't think the NFL cares.
I don't think they did. I think they're still loyal to. In fact, I'm quite certain they didn't. I think that they are so loyal to the bowls because of all of the greasing that's happened over 100 years that they are so loyal to the bowls on this New Year's Eve, New Year's Day thing that reflects a lot of it. And even if there was somebody like, even if it was Tony Petitti who called Goodell, college football's not unified. You have to all row in the same direction. The Big Ten wants a 20-some team playoff. The SEC wants 12. Like, they're not rowing in the same direction at all.
I understand the loyalty to the bowls. Like, I get what you're saying with that, Bo, but the ultimate loyalty to those bowls would be having the semifinals and championship games in those bowls. I do not understand why conference championship weekend is the first weekend in December. Why are we waiting so long to start the playoff? Let's start it that next weekend.
How long have I been saying this?
It just doesn't make much sense. And then you could get this done earlier, avoid more NFL, and you want to show your loyalty to those bowls. The Rose Bowl could have the national championship game or the semifinal game.
Yeah.
Doesn't make much like that. I don't know.
No, and it speaks to, so if you just pull up, for example, December, Saturday is the conference championship games are the 6th. First of all, just get rid of them. That's just redundant. Like, how ridiculous for Ohio State to play Indiana, number 1 and number 2 in the country, in that game. It's utterly ridiculous to play that game and then have to potentially do it again later on. Just get rid of it. Start the college football playoff on the 6th. Do the quarterfinals on the 13th. And it all works. Like, they just have to think outside the box a little bit. Just a little bit. And they could get all of this in. Instead, they just kept saying, well, this is what it's a pancake breakfast. We do it once a month. That's what they're doing. Every year.
You have to have the Rose Bowl on January 1st. It's something that they're not going to figure out for at least, or through at least 2030. So you've got everything up until then. And even if they expand the playoff, it'll just get worse. The one thing I think that college football lucks into this year is those games on December 20th go up against NFL games on Fox. Packers at Bears, Eagles at Commanders. So it's not like last year where I think you ran into Lamar versus Stroud and Mahomes playing on the same day, but everything else just screams you're going to have to start this season earlier, and you're going to have to get this wrapped up in the single digits of January.
I think the NFL tried, though, because I think they thought both those games were going to be monster games.
Oh, no, I'm sure they did try, absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. They lucked into it not being the case this year.
Yeah, I'm not hearing enough dialogue about getting this calendar right. Like, that's not being talked about enough. They're worried about trying to find money and add playoff games, and they're not thinking about what's best for the sport.
Who would have to initiate the dialogue? Would it have to come from Goodell?
Well, he's not going to do it because he doesn't.
Why would he?
I guess that's what I'm saying.
It's going to have to come college football needs a unified voice that says this is what we're doing.
They can't get anything together.
So, like, Petitti and Sankey need to row in the same direction, and they need to go to Goodell and say, what can we do here? And if that means moving back this whole thing, then move the whole thing back. Like, this isn't that hard.
Could ESPN be the mediator and say, let's get this figured out? Because
it's a great point. Because I'm actually surprised, Reese, that they haven't pushed for that already. I think it's lunacy that they're giving up something that they're paying this for. I think it's crazy.
When this expands, it feels like quarter and semifinal games are going to have to move to Turner or move somewhere else because ESPN, with their contracts through the NFL, with their contracts through college football, with their contracts through college basketball, are just going to look and say to themselves, we just can't put this all on ESPN and we can't put this all on ABC. And if any of these go to ESPN too, then it's torches and pitchforks.
Just think how awesome it's going to be when the Big Ten gets their way and we have a 2018 playoff, and then we can have the Super Bowl and the national championship game in the same stadium on Sunday, Monday. That's going to be fun, isn't it?
You know what? It just occurred. We were right, by the way. It's not even the NFL. Those are Fox. That's a Fox Saturday. Those are Fox Saturday games. That is not ESPN. That means that ESPN is farming out college. You want to think how haphazardly this was? ESPN is having to farm out college football playoff games, which will be massive ratings for them
because of college basketball.
Their college basketball contracts. So I don't know what it would be in the afternoon. I mean, I'm pulling up that. Oh, they have Duke, Texas Tech at 8 o'clock on ESPN on that Saturday. So they must have the Madison Square Garden tournament thing is what they must have.
And don't forget the CBS Sports Classic. Ohio State will be playing on that December 20th.
3 o'clock. Yeah. Holy cow. That's what they're doing. I think this thing's going to go chalk tonight. I think the 12-team playoff will look a lot like this. I think the 8-9 will be BYU and Texas Tech. I think that'll feed into Ohio State. I think they're going to go the 5-12 will be Georgia and Memphis feeding into Bama. I think Ole Miss and Notre Dame will be the 7-10 that will feed into Indiana. And then I think the 6-11 will be Oregon and Virginia feeding into Texas A&M. I think it'll be very chalky tonight. What do you guys? Do you feel like they're going to do any curveballs?
So I think they might a little bit. I thought this was interesting from Brad Crawford at 24/7 Sports. He has quite a few curveballs. He has Ohio State number 1. He has Bama number 2, Indiana 3, Texas A&M 4, Georgia 5, Ole Miss 6, BYU 7, Oregon 8, Texas Tech 9, Texas 10, Miami 11, Notre Dame 12.
Hold on. Does that even make sense? He's got Miami in?
He's got Miami at number 11, the top ACC team.
I mean,
they just got their butts beat in by my ponies over the weekend.
Only ACC team making it is the ACC champ.
That's it. They don't even have they already have 2 ACC losses.
It's a bold preview from him.
I do think the committee puts Texas in the top 12, and I think they'll have Oklahoma right behind them.
I don't think Texas is in the top. How? There's not enough spaces, bud. Like you're gonna.
You say they're going to be ranked in the top 12, but not seeded in the playoff right now.
I mean, I think they're going to have them in the top 12, and maybe like Memphis will bump them out.
Oh, okay.
Possibly. I think
that could be.
I think they're going to set Texas up for being in this thing.
Well, I'm not worried about them from the standpoint of they're at Georgia in 2 weeks, and then they still have
Texas
to play
A&M. Yeah,
they'll lose again. Rest assured, Texas will lose again. Tuesdays with the Barry in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
Active military or veteran planning your next career move? Columbus State's IT programs prepare you for a high-tech career in Columbus's fastest growing fields. Our veteran services team will help you maximize your benefits and connect to a supportive campus community. Apply at cscc.edu/IT.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Bishop and Friends present Tuesdays with Tiberi.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, time to head on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Conversation with the great Dom Tiberi, 10 TV legend. Let me ask you this. What happened to Penn State?
My goodness, I don't know. I mean, you think about this, and I watched them the other day, and they have some talent. They got some big guys. I don't know if they got into their own business thinking, hey, we've arrived, we're this, we made the playoffs. But, I mean, it goes to show you how fragile it is. And, Bo, when you think about it, you see this in the pros all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between winning and losing. I mean, take the Bengals, for example.
Yeah.
And take the Browns, for example. If you could take the offense from the Bengals and the defense from the Browns, you would have a Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
The expectations were so high for Penn State. You had people and supposed experts now. We're not talking about, Harry the Pikefish. We're talking about supposed experts that said Penn State was going to contend for a national title and perhaps win one for James Franklin. And now this poor dude's out. And but they played hard in the first half. I mean, let's not make them better than they are. They got a gift, that fumble deep in Ohio State's territory. Otherwise, that score should have been 42-7. I picked 42-0. It should have been 42-7.
Yeah, I think at 35-7, it was right around there. So we're all kind of in the vicinity of it. Where's all this money coming from? I mean, Franklin is getting $50. They got to write a check for $50 million. Now they'll pay it out in installments. You got Brian Kelly's got to get $54 million in installments, and then you got to hire a new guy. And all the while, we're listening to athletic directors and administrators saying they're crying poor. We got to find money. We got to charge for this. We got to put names on this. We got to sell this, and yet we can fire coaches and write big checks without really batting an eye.
Again, it is not sustainable. You and I have talked about this. It is the professionalism of college football, and that's fine. You're paying the kids, they're paying the coaches, and all this stuff. But you can only go to the well so often. And they're all now, I think the Cignetti factor has affected a lot of people. They say, look what Indiana did overnight. Mm-hmm. And, that guy did capture lightning in a bottle. I don't know. Can he be sustained? Is it sustainable there? I mean, you think of Indiana, you always think of basketball, not exactly a football powerhouse, never has been, and what he's done's been amazing. But they're paying him now, $11 million a year. He's doing very well for himself. But is it sustainable? I say it is not. I think it's, and I texted you yesterday. I didn't mean to take exception, but to me, schools like LSU, I mean, where's their money base? I know New Orleans is okay, but we're talking about agriculture states versus where big business is. And I think the northern schools, the oil schools, are going to be successful for at least the time being. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the agriculture states, I don't know. I don't know where all this ends, but it's real. You can only go so many times to a booster and say, hey, I need this for this quarterback. I need this for this guy. I mean, Wood Michigan, that guy gave him $10 million for that quarterback. I mean, did they get what they wanted? Is he everything they thought he was going to be? I mean, I don't know what they're paying Jeremiah, but I'm sure he's doing very well. And he ought to. But, I mean, that's the world we're in. We had one professional league, the National Football League. Now we have the NCAA. A professional football league is what it's becoming.
Yeah, and I'm curious if there is a pushback from universities because these buyouts are massive, right? And boosters are fatigued. And one thing that happens usually is when a guy like Signetti gets a deal, or here's what's going to happen. Like, and we had Ari Wasserman on. I know you remember him when you have him on Wall all the time back in the years. And he talked about Lane Kiffin's going to be the highest paid coach in college football one way or another. So either Ole Miss is going to make him the highest paid, or he's going to go to LSU and they're going to make him the highest paid. I'm wondering, because you mentioned NFL feeling, right? Like if you don't win in a couple of years, you're gone. That's a very NFL thought to it. Right. I'm wondering if these athletic departments will wise up and realize just because somebody makes them the highest paid, you don't have to do it over 10 years and $150 million.
No.
Like you can do a 5-year deal at $12 million a year. You can do a 4-year deal at $12 million a year. Those are the things that to me I'm curious about is when Lane Kiffin gets that deal, will Ohio State, for example, feel like they have to for no reason? I mean, he's accomplished a lot, obviously, but Ryan Day doesn't have to be the highest paid, does he? And that always used to be a big sense of pride for athletic departments. Well, we're paying the most because he's accomplished the most. Remember all that?
Yeah, and you know, it's crazy. Think about this for a minute. When Woody Hayes and his assistants were here, Earl Bruce, they were year-to-year contracts. Mm-hmm. Year-to-year for all of them.
Yeah.
And look at where we are now. And, you know, Coop was the first, get a multi-year. You know, it would hurt recruiting if the coach didn't have a multi-year contract. And, you know, we all know that it's all's fair in, love and war and recruiting because, you know, you're going to do whatever you can to get these players. But now, in the world of the NIL, does it really matter who the coach is? Does it?
I don't know.
I mean, how much are kids listening to if you come here? Now, I think Ryan Day has one other thing to sell. If you're a quarterback, if you're a receiver, and you want to play at the highest level, you want to play in the National Football League, why would you go anywhere but Ohio State? I mean, Julian's saying, and you vote in the Heisman,
yeah,
this kid's probably the front runner now, should be the front runner. And if they win out, I think he'll win the Heisman Trophy. And he might be the first guy that challenges Archie's 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. And it'd be amazing if it's another Ohio State player, but it could happen. And that's the world we're in, that, you know, it's all upside down. And again, we can, you know, I know a lot of people aren't happy and they moan about it and everything. Listen, get used to it. It's not changing. And I think it's amazing that I saw some of the people. I've been hearing people, why won't Ryan Day open it up? Why won't Ryan Day air it out? No, you know what? The days of beating teams 70-0 to get style points and all that, it's over.
It's done.
You're going to limit how many plays you have. You're going to limit the risk to injury, and you're just going to try to win the games. You win all your games, and if he goes 12-0, they'll be the top seed. They'll get a bye. You know, well, obviously they got to go and play Signetti, which is stupid. Go play Signetti in the Big Ten title game. Risk getting someone hurt in a game that it's just bragging rights. That's all it is.
Yep.
Nothing. It's a moneymaker and bragging rights. And risk getting one of your players hurt to go play. You know, the goal, and I tell people, the goal is not to score 70 points. The goal is not to have style points. Yeah, the goal is nice if what's the name, if Sam wins the Heisman, but that's not the goal. The goal is to win another national title, and that's all that matters. And Ryan Day learned so much last year with how to maintain the season and he's putting that in, and it's everything he does is calculated. And I told people, calm down. When the month of November gets here, you're going to see more added to the offensive arsenal. I think we saw that the other day. Julian saying 20 of 23, 2 of them were throwaways, Bo, to avoid sacks. Otherwise, the guy would have been 20 of, you know what I mean? And it's like, how many bombs aways did you see?
Yeah, he saw several. I mean, he's allergic to inaccuracy is the real truth with him. Like, all he is accurate. It's just what he is. Let me take you back to Halloween last week.
Yes, sir.
How'd it go with the grandbabies?
It was good. We were out. I did my sports live in the neighborhood.
Nice.
This gentleman, this guy is amazing. This neighbor of ours, he's got 4 zombie monsters. I mean, they're like 12 feet tall over his yard. And he's got Michael Myers standing by the door with a knife. And he's got these skeleton people sitting in I mean, it's a spooky house, and I was there. It was cool. Yeah, the grandbabies, it kind of spooked them a little bit. They're young.
Well,
yet.
yeah.
A little spooky. Mike Myers standing there, you know.
I think we've almost normalized that. That's like normal. I see those 12-foot skeletons everywhere now.
Gio's pretty funny. He goes, hey, Papa Dom, I don't like Pennywise. And I go, who the hell is Pennywise? And then I look it up, and that's that
kidding.
Freak. I said, how do you know about Pennywise?
Poor kid.
Have you seen that guy?
Yeah, my middle boy Beamsy was terrified of him. He's terrified of clowns.
Yeah, well,
terrified.
Yeah, I don't like him either. Although I put a scary clown on my front porch.
You did?
Yeah. Gosh, he was pretty spooky.
When your kids were young, what was the number one candy that you would steal?
Snicker bars.
They're so good in the freezer.
Oh
aren't they?
My gosh, I can't eat them anymore, but I do. I dream about a Snicker bar, and I do like Twix.
That's good.
I do
Cookie
like
Crunch.
Twix. You know what? Let me just say this.
Sure.
I know I'm miserable for the Browns and Bengals, but I think I have watched, and I just want to say this because I was so frustrated.
Okay.
I think I have watched 8th grade football tackle better than the Cincinnati. I mean, and they're paying those guys.
It's a mess.
Have you ever seen?
No.
I felt bad. Poor Joe Flacco, 40-some-year-old guy out there balling.
Yep.
Playing great, and he just had this look, are you kidding me? Can you guys tackle? We're not talking about missed assignments or whatever. We're talking about just simple tackling.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like
as big
it
a
was
failure
like,
as you're going to see.
I mean, have you ever seen that defense? That's terrible. Yeah. How do you tackle that way?
It's a mess, and they're going to waste the prime of these players, I mean, that's the thing that really sucks about it.
I mean, it's awful.
All right, buddy. Good talking to you.
Nice seeing you. Bye-bye.
Right. Talk to you soon. There he goes. Uncle Dommy on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We'll hit a little thing or not a thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Drive into fall with a fresh start from CME Federal Credit Union. Let CME try and beat your current auto loan rate by 1.5% APR and enjoy no payments for 60 days. Take your current ride into the season stress-free. Terms apply. APR as low as 4.99%. Visit CMEFCU.org.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, is it true?
What's that?
Tire Discounters is offering up to $200 off sets of Goodyear tires?
Absolutely.
Plus free alignment and a full synthetic oil change?
You got it.
I'm not one to exaggerate, but that may be the best deal in the history of the world.
But free would be better.
Mike, don't toy with me.
Through the holidays, every day we're open, someone will get their money back on 4 tires.
but I...
Just breathe, Phantom. Breathe.
No purchase necessary and 12/31/25. Visit website for details.
Wendy's new Snickerdoodle Cookie Frosty Fusion is the perfect holiday gift. With rich frosty and chunks of Snickerdoodle cookies, it's the one thing on everyone's list. Not mine, though. I don't need anything. Definitely don't get me a Snickerdoodle Frosty that comes in vanilla or chocolate. How would you even get it to me anyways? I mean, no, I'm totally good. Please get me one. I want one so bad. For the frosty gift everyone's asking for, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
When you're building a single-family house, multi-unit house, townhouse, penthouse, row house, or tiny house, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. The Columbus builders who are building Columbus do. They know they can rent the right equipment at the right price right now. Thanks to the largest rental fleet and most rental locations in Columbus. All powered by people for equipment know-how, support, transport, and training. So no matter what you've got going in or going up, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
You know that project you've been working on? Just chipping away at it, dreaming of the day you get to show it off? Then, when you're least expecting it, cancer. And finishing that project actually happens. I would know. I've been restoring this car for years, and today I'm giving it to my granddaughter. It's her 16th birthday and 2 years since my cancer diagnosis.
Mom, you finished it?
Happy birthday, boo-boo. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
It's the giving season at Logan Services. Refer a friend for heating and cooling installation and earn $400 in gift cards. Plus, learn more about our referral rewards program when you visit our website, Logan Services.
Your new Columbus home for the Jim Rome Show is the Fan 2.
Catch the live experience weekdays from 3 to 6.
Just one requirement. Have a take and don't suck. The Fan 2, Columbus's home of the Jim Rome Show.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
It's BOGO week, so use your card for buy one, get one free deals on Kroger brand apple juice, Screamin' Sicilian pizza, and more participating items. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You know, most people will agree with this. Life is a lot better without pain and more comfort. Hey, it's Anthony. I used to buy the over-the-counter insoles, thinking that just the cushion itself would solve everything. It didn't. So I finally got serious about support. I went to the Good Feet store where I was personally fitted for arch supports. I started feeling relief, more stability, and stuff stopped aching. My lower back felt better. I don't care whether you're an athlete or you're retired. Get greater comfort and confidence from personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. That's because their arch supports are designed to align your body from the feet up, and they can help provide relief from pain and discomfort like it has for me. They have an expert staff trained to understand your specific needs, and they recommend the best solutions. It's simple. Just stop by the Good Feet store at one of their convenient locations on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City, or, of course, learn more, a lot more, at goodfeet.com.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, the Fan. The best hair on the air. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing and not a thing on a Tuesday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Yesterday afternoon, shortly before 3 o'clock Eastern Time, Browns defensive tackle Michael Hall tweeted one word: trade. That tweet has since been deleted. Cleveland.com's Mary Kay Cabot says Browns defensive tackle Mike Hall Jr. posted on X an undeleted trade. The Browns have never discussed or considered trading him. Thing or not a thing?
Yeah, interesting thing. I think Mary Kay's spot on. I see no scenario where the Browns would trade Mike Hall low. His ceiling is incredibly high. They didn't put him on IR for hopeful that he would be able to practice and come along. He was finally active last time out for the first time. I don't see any scenario where they would trade Mike Hall unless it were part of a massive move. Just a massive deal move where you acquire somebody. I mean, this wouldn't be it. This isn't scores. I'm just trying to think of something that would be massive like that. Like if you traded him in a package to San Francisco for Mac Jones. Something like that. Like I just don't see any scenario where he would be moved for picks or assets. He is an asset. He's a controllable asset that they like the ceiling of, then you don't give those away at low market value. So no, I don't think there's anything to this.
So did he say this because he wants to trade? Like, I don't understand this, because the only reason you haven't played is because you've been injured and your own stupid legal issues.
Yeah.
So I don't understand, like, other than you just want to get out of Cleveland and you think it's a terrible organization. I don't get this, because your lack of playing time has been your own doing. Like, and I know injuries happen. Like, you can't, maybe that's a little harsh on your own doing, but I mean, you're not out there because you physically were not able to. So if he's complaining about lack of playing time, I feel like this is all on him. I don't get this at all.
This was a comment from Saturday afternoon, but it made the rounds Sunday and Monday. Speaking with the media, after their win over Vanderbilt, Texas's Steve Sarkisian was asked about a 9-3 team having an argument for the college football playoff.
How the committee handles it, I don't know, but I know we got Georgia here in 2 weeks and on the road, and it's going to be a tough game. So that's where our focus is right now. And what the committee does with the teams in our conference, we'll see. But I know our conference is really deep. It's really good, probably deserving more than 3 teams. I know that much. I think the SEC only got 3 teams in last year, which is kind of laughable, quite frankly. But we'll see what happens this year.
Thing or not a thing.
Well, I think if he beats Georgia or Texas A&M, he's going to have a heck of a case as a 3-loss SEC team to get in. I mean, they should be rewarded for coming here in the non-conference. That should be a feather in their cap, is the fact that they came here in the no conference and play the number 1 team in the country at their place. So, yeah, I mean, I think if they win at Georgia next Saturday, I don't think they will do either one of these things, but if they win at Georgia next Saturday, or if they win at Texas A&M and they're sitting there at 9-3, is their 9-3 better than a Big 12's 10-2? Yeah, I think so.
Sark beat Florida.
Yeah.
Don't lose to Florida, who you probably should not have lost to. This is what I'm saying. I think Texas is going to be set up tonight to be in this thing, even if they're a 3-loss team. But again, handle your business, right? Go out and beat Georgia. Go out and beat Texas A&M. You don't have to worry about things. And Sark, to his credit, he's being asked a question here. He's not bringing this up. He's not stumping for it. He's just, and then what a coach would have to do is argue for his conference, right? Just win your games. I'm tired of our losses are better than your losses. Like, get out. Win games, daggone it. You play to win the game.
The thing that's really tricky is our losses are better than your wins. That's the tricky one. And that's what could happen. Because I think you're going to have, Georgia's going to pick up another loss. That feels like it's going to happen. Someone's got to play in the SEC title game. A&M could lose twice more the rest of the way. They're undefeated at 8-0 at the moment. They're at Missouri this weekend. Then they have South Carolina, Samford, so there's the bye week before Texas. Then they're at Texas, but they'd have to play an SEC title game against potentially Georgia or Alabama. So you're going to have multiple 3-loss SEC teams that they're going to have to deal with.
You talked about this earlier, Bo. I think the most fascinating thing this year with the college football playoff, and maybe we'll see a glimpse into it tonight, but I think the most fascinating thing this year is not the Big 12, because I think the Big 12 does have a couple decent teams in there. I think it's going to be what they do with this jumbled up mess in the middle of the SEC and the ACC. Yeah. What they do with those teams there is going to be very interesting.
I think they got a get out of jail free card with my Ponies beating Miami, because now Miami's done. So I think you only have to take one ACC team now. You'll take the ACC champion, that's it. And Georgia Tech lost, so you're going to take ACC champion, that's it. So last year they took 2 in the ACC. This year they'll take 1.
You want to do Auburn or Colorado next?
Let's do Colorado. We haven't talked about them in a while.
All right. So following their 52-17 loss to Arizona over the weekend, this was at Folsom Field. This was for their homecoming. Colorado's Deion Sanders did not allow the media to speak with players. It's the first time in his 3 seasons with the Buffaloes that players were not made available after a game. The loss was Colorado's 4th in their last 5. It's the 2nd consecutive blowout, and they're 3-6 on the season. Sanders said he made the decision because he was the only one to blame for that embarrassing defeat. Quote, "Don't attack the coordinators, come at me. Don't attack the players, come at me. I know a quitter when I see one. I haven't seen that." End quote. Thing or not a thing?
Do you remember, Reese? This was might have been last year. We had Colorado's 20 most interesting. And I think maybe 2 years in a row we did. And we were looking at the roster turnover. And we were looking at the fact there was one recruiting class where they had 3 kids sign. And we just said, this is not sustainable to not sign 3 guys and go for 40 guys every year in the portal. It's not. And they're not a big money program. They don't have billionaire boosters. It's not the most important thing in the world. They're in Boulder, for God's sakes. It's like a mountainous Miami. They got everything they want there. I mean, it's just a totally different set of perspectives. So this was always why I thought it was very tricky why he went there to begin with. I think it's a very tough place to coach and recruit to and all of it, especially when you don't have a true football unicorn in Travis Hunter and your kid, who's a damn good quarterback. So this, I don't see any scenario where this ends well at all for him at Colorado.
Were people whispering about the team quitting? or something like that. Like, it's interesting that he would just come in and volunteer that. Like, talk to me. I know a quitter. This isn't a quitter. Were people saying that? Because if he's trying to jump out in front of that, it almost feels like maybe that's the case.
Yeah.
We've always talked about this. Signetti has been able to do it because he brought guys with him that knew his system, and he's gotten the quarterback 2 years in a row.
And he's got an alumni base that's mobilized now. He's got Cuban, and he's got guys ready to write checks. That's how they got Mendoza.
Dion, and let's not act like Dion has been super successful here. I know they were a 1-win team, but they went to 4 wins and then 8 wins last year.
And he did that up at 9, didn't they, last year?
He did that with the Heisman Trophy winner and a quarterback that everybody thought talent-wise was a first-round quarterback.
I'll stand up for him on this, though. That was the worst job in the country when he took it. Was the worst Power 5 job in the country when he took it. They went 10-3 last year.
But you lose those 2 guys, and where are you now?
Yeah.
You're heading back towards that way. Belichick is dealing it with right now. It's not overturning rosters multiple years is not the way to win in college football.
It's not. It's not sustainable in really any way. Final hour of the program up next. We kick it off with the Blitz. Keep our eyes on the NFL trade deadline on a very busy day in the sports world. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Bank of America is a nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in Columbus. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone here for Window Nation. Living in Ohio, you want your home to be comfortable year-round, your family protected, and an investment you can feel great about for years. Now, during Window Nation's end-of-year sale this November, you could save big on windows that do just that. You'll save 50% off all window styles, plus you can get 0% interest financing for 5 years. Window Nation's proven quality windows are so good, you'll actually save money on lower utility bills every single month. And they're backed with a lifetime warranty. Window Nation even has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and over 45,000 5-star customer reviews. And did I mention you could celebrate your newly upgraded home with a chance to get 2 Ohio State game day tickets? Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Window Nation's end-of-year sale is your chance to save big with 50% off all window styles, plus 0% financing for 5 years. Window Nation, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. The sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com today to get started. That's windownation.com.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. The open road feels even better with CME Federal Credit Union. CME wants to beat your current auto loan rate by 1.5% APR and give you a fresh start with no payments for 60 days. Whether it's tailgates, pumpkin patches, or road trips through Ohio's back roads, let CME help you cozy up to savings and make this season one to remember. Terms apply. APR as low as 4.99%. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit CMEFCU.org.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and I'm a big believer in saying thank you when something actually works. So thank you, Awaken 180. And they're actually saying thank you back right here in Ohio with $500 off every new program through Thanksgiving. I started around this time last year, dropped 65 pounds for the holidays, and 15 more in free maintenance. Awaken 180 works, and now's the time to do it with $500 off. Thank your new self when you're 30 or 80 pounds lighter with the medication-free solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a Pepper thing.
Away game this week, but that just means you can make the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus your home for Saturday football. Join the Fan for the tailgate show and then party with us with the ultimate watch party. We have football contests with amazing prizes. There's wall-to-wall screens, ticket and memorabilia giveaways, and unbeatable game day food. Can't wait to see you at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook on Saturday. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone.
Where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-656-1551. That's 800-656-1551.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Pretty quiet on the NFL trade deadline front. The biggest move of the day so far is Cincinnati got a 7th-round pick from Dallas in exchange for linebacker Logan Wilson. Teams have until 4 o'clock today to make deals. In college football, number 1 Ohio State's a 28.5-point favorite. Buckeyes are at Purdue Saturday at 1 o'clock. Ohio State's Ryan Day will hold his weekly press conference today at noon. We'll carry those comments live on The Fan. Coach Day will also join Buckeye Roundtable tonight at 6:30. OSU is going to host UCLA next Saturday for a 7:30 p.m. kick that can be seen on NBC. On the field tonight, Ohio University hosts Miami of Ohio at 7. The first college football playoff rankings are out at 8. And in college hoops, Ohio State beat IU Indy last night 118-102. The Buckeyes will host Purdue Fort Wayne Friday night at 6:30. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Get a holiday loan from BMI and choose a loan amount from $1,000 to $5,000. BMIFCU.org/holiday loan.
After putting up with Tom Tiberi for a decade, the broadcast gods gave Bo these two. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on an NFL trade deadline, election, and college football playoff unveiling Tuesday edition. Let's blitz the NFL, shall we?
Bishop and Friends present NFL Blitz.
Sponsored by Monogram Homes. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building.
All right, Reese, I'll start with you. I believe I had that. What did you have?
5-9, so I did not have a great many things from week 9 in the NFL, but I did have the fun's over for the G-men. You lose Cam Scatteraboo the way that they did, and they don't have any confidence, and such will go the season for Big Blue.
Which actually might be okay if Scatteraboo and Neighbors come back healthy.
Yeah.
If they draft high, there starts to be a nice group of talent there. They just got to get Jackson Dart to get through it alive without taking too many hits. How about you, Bake? What'd you have?
So I will give Tyvis Powell a little bit of credit on this because a few years ago when he was traveling to Piscataway quite a bit to do Rutgers games, he kind of tipped me off to a little stocky running back named Kyle Monangai. And man, that guy was pretty daggone good. He was just at Rutgers, and I thought whoever gets this guy in the draft is going to get them a good running back. And I know it was that porous, terrible tackling Bengals defense, but he got the start this week for the Bears because DeAndre Swift was out. He goes 26 carries, 176 yards, 6.8 yards a carry. On the season this year, he is averaging 5.3 yards a carry. I feel like Chicago may have a little something here with Swift and Monangai that Swift kind of had in Detroit when he had David Montgomery with him.
If Caleb Williams can just be bottled, because he makes a lot of the stuff that you love, but then he'll also do a couple of things you don't. Because, yeah, they have every single thing that you would want. They even unlocked Colston Loveland finally last week. The Rams are great. There isn't a number almost with them that they don't take care of. It was 14.5 in this one. Yeah, they're fine. They'll handle their business. That's what they do. I think that they are the most dangerous, best team in the NFC. I think they're better than Philly right now. I think that's why Philly's making a lot of these moves that they're making. And I think the way Stafford is playing is a big part of that. At his age, to go 21-28, 285, 4 touchdowns, no picks, without Nakua, even if you're playing against air, it's impressive. That's what they are. And I've been a big fan of them all season long, and it continues. I did not have that. What did you not have, Reese?
Well, again, I was 5-9 on the week, so it felt like I didn't have anything. If you'd have told me Joe Flacco was going to lead the Bengals offense to 42 points against the New York Jets, I'd be like, that'll probably do it. I was wrong.
Yeah. Jeez.
I'd be wrong.
I did not have Sam Darnold being this good. I thought Seattle overpaid for him, and I thought it was going to be a flop, and he was just kind of a product of Minnesota and Kevin O'Connell and obviously Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. No, he's been great with Seattle, and he pretty much had a perfect first half on Sunday Night Football the other night. I did not have Sam Darnold being this. I didn't think Sam Darnold was worth the pick when he was taken that early, and he probably wasn't at the time. He was young, but he has really turned it around and flipped a switch. I know he has credited Brock Purdy with a lot of that, backing him up in San Francisco. Seattle hit a home run, and I did not think they did.
I think we've all learned a lesson with, and a lot of people didn't have, Darnold, Danny Dimes, Bake. Anybody could have had them for a bucket of balls, and they all look like franchise quarterbacks now. I did not have Dallas losing last night, and maybe I should have. I know that the Cardinals have 4 wins and 14 chances on Monday Night Football. All 4 came against Dallas, so they get up for them. They play well against them. I just thought Dallas would win last week at Denver, and I thought for sure they'd win last night at home, and it's just... it ain't there. And now something's a little off offensively for them. It's going to be a long year down in Big D. Player who impressed, Reese?
Josh Allen.
He's great.
Pretty big statement game for the Buffalo Bills. And he's, 5-1 all-time in the regular season against Mahomes. And I think the thing that we had said at the beginning of the year about this Buffalo organization is, all right, do it against Kansas City in the playoffs. And that question still remains because they are legitimately great, but you've got to get over that hump in the playoffs.
For me, it's Jacoby Brissett, and it wasn't great last night. 21 of 31, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns. But I think what he does for this Arizona team is give them stability. Nobody has played in closer games than the Arizona Cardinals all year. Every game they've played in this year has been a 1-score game except for their win last night. 10 points. That's the biggest difference in any game they've had. And I think just Jacoby Brissett's steady presence gives them something because that defense will keep them in games. It's unlocked a little bit with Marv and Bo. I know you talked about this. Kyler's an off-schedule guy. Marv is an on-schedule receiver. So maybe that doesn't always click. Jacoby stays on schedule, though, and it's really helping Marv. The Cardinals are sitting there at 3-5, and I think they're a very interesting team to watch the rest of the way.
Brissett's a really impressive dude. Like, he was up in Cleveland, got to know him a little bit. He's just an adult. He does his job. He's kind of the perfect backup. He's supportive. When he's thrust in, he plays well, plays within the system. And by the way, there's familiarity there. Drew Petzing was with the Browns on their offensive staff. He's the offensive coordinator in Arizona when Jacoby was there. So they probably see the game similarly as well. It's Sam Darnold. He went 16 of his first 16. I mean, it's nuts. That's nuts how he's playing. Player who disappointed, Reese.
Well, this is a coach, Jonathan Gannon. What do you mean when healthy Kyler Murray's your starter? Have you not been watching your team play with Jacoby? We just had the conversation about Jacoby Brissett. Like, I'm an idiot, and even I can look at this offense and say it's much better without Kyler. Like, even in the broadcast and I didn't know that Marvin Harrison Sr. had made comments. Basically, if I had played on this Arizona Cardinals offense, I'm returning my gold jacket. That's a hell of a statement to make there.
Yep, it is.
For me, it's Jordan Love. That's an inexcusable loss to me for Green Bay this week. And Jordan Love, the numbers aren't terrible, but they weren't great. He made some throws in that game that were like, what in the hell are you doing? The one should have been picked off in the end zone. I don't know how the defender just had to be too easy. Like, he's never had a pick that easy in his life, and he couldn't believe it, and he just dropped it.
Too.
Yeah, I said on this show earlier this year I was angry because I let Jordan Love suck me in, and I kind of became a believer. That ain't happening again.
You'll never hear me do this one again. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
The dude was less than 50% completions. He did some things that even he doesn't make sense. He would twirl around where pressure wasn't there. He would bounce out of the pocket, like stuff he normally gets away with. He just didn't. And he should have been better on Sunday for somebody as great as he is. Bud Kilmer, honorary coach of the week. Who do you got, Reese?
Well, it's Mike McDonald for the Seattle Seahawks, but I'm going to give a -1 to Dan Quinn. It's 38-7. Why is Jaden Daniels in that football game? I know you took ownership of it, but come on, man.
To me, this is Dave Canales of the Carolina Panthers. You show me someone that said the Panthers would be 5-4 at this part in the season, I will show you someone that is a liar. Because nobody.
I can show you one. He lives in this house.
They're 4-1 in their last 5 games. Now, I know a lot of those aren't against great competition. They beat the Dolphins, they beat the Cowboys, they beat the Jets. But that Packers win is pretty impressive. Dave Canales, there's something there with this Carolina team. They're on the come.
Yeah, he's it too. And now part of it is I'm hoping to jinx him. Because if you're just joining us and missed this, I doubled down with NBC on a $500 bet to now it's $1,000 if the Carolina Panthers make the playoffs. Who could ever beat Carolina and Dave Canales? I mean, is this guy the next Vince Lombardi? Are they going to lose again the rest of the year? This is where we're at. They've won 4 out of 5. What's stopping them? Win the rest out.
And, Bo, by the way, the Meow Mix podcast is back now. They won enough that
now that's
back.
Good Lord. Start losing at any time. Your top 3, big shakeup, I would assume here, gentlemen. What do you got, Reese?
I'm going to go Bills, Seahawks, Eagles.
Huge shakeup this week. I got the same 3, just a little different order. I got the Bills, the Eagles, and the Seahawks.
I'm going to go Buffalo, Seahawks, Rams. I was very, very tempted to go Ravens. I think Baltimore's going to go on I think they're going to buzzsaw people for the next month and a half. I think they're just going to annihilate people. They very likely will not be an underdog again the rest of the year. If they are, it will likely only be at Green Bay into the second to the last week of the year. That's the next time they'll be a dog. They'll be favored to win every other game they play. Super Bowl right now. Who do you got, Reese?
I got the Bills and the Seattle Seahawks.
That'd be fun.
I almost did the same, but I went Buffalo and Philly.
I'm going to go Buffalo Rams, but I mean Buffalo-Seattle would be a lot of fun. Seattle doesn't get enough love for the most tortured sports city. They lost their Sonics. The Mariners losing a Game 7. They've never even been to the World Series. The Seahawks have never been to the Super Bowl. No, they won the Super Bowl. What am I talking about? Didn't they win it with?
They won it with Russ.
They won it with Russ.
If Seattle makes the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I need it right now. Mandatory. They wear those jerseys.
Yep,
they wore Sunday nights.
Have to wear.
Yeah, it's because I actually think their modern ones are pretty great too. I think it's one of the rare instances where they got the old and the new right. I think the old stuff. My theory on it is we so rarely see those shades of colors anymore that they just pop when we see them. Because when I was a kid, nobody thought the Seahawks uniforms are the greatest uniforms ever, and certainly nobody thought the Bucks were at all. But now you see them, and you see all these shades that you don't normally see, and it pops.
Same thing with the Broncos.
Yes.
Where the LAs.
Those are just stunning. Absolutely stunning. NFL trade deadline is in about 5 hours from now. Will the Browns be buyers, be sellers? Will they stand pat? They're not standing pat at play calling. We'll get into that coming up next. Bishop and Friends are here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
At Giant Eagle, we're helping bring the holiday magic home. Because your get-togethers bring everyone together. Because you make the holidays feel like the holidays. Because nothing beats free. From October 16th to November 6th, spend $350 and earn a free turkey on your next visit. Redeem through November 30th. Giant Eagle. Because it matters. Must scan My Perks loyalty card to earn and redeem. Restrictions apply. Visit gianteagle.com for details.
Active military or veteran planning your next career move? Columbus State's engineering technology programs prepare you for a career in Columbus's fastest growing fields. Our veteran services team will help you maximize your benefits and connect to a supportive community. Apply at cscc.edu/engineeringtech.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Common Man here. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free in 36 months of 0% financing, plus a bonus $500 off. Restrictions apply. Give them a call. 614-502-5220. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Austin and Berm are back with a new daily podcast, the ultimate OSU football insiders. You know, it's refreshing to have some smart people working here from time to time.
The Beat with Austin and Berm on the 10 TV Plus app.
Subscribe today.
Tough, reliable, and ready to work. You were born that way. Kubota is built that way. Our entire ag lineup, featuring versatile tractors and hay tools, powerful skid steer loaders, and the rugged Sidekick utility vehicle, is designed with the engine of a Kubota and the heart of a farmer. Visit KubotaUSA.com to find a dealer near you.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means you pick your wager. Will it be $1, $2, a crisp $20? Your call. Like picking your own numbers? Use any inspiration you like. Birthdays, jersey numbers, you name it. And if you don't feel like choosing, there's the Super Quick Auto Pick. With regular promotions that'll get you more bang for your Keno buck, multiple ways to win, prizes galore, and live draws every few minutes. Anytime is the right time to get in on the Keno action. Keno is always fun, your way. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A mix of sun and clouds for us today, but a little bit warmer. Daytime highs will get up right around 60 degrees with a lot less wind. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy, becoming clear overnight with lows in the 40s. For Wednesday, warm and windy with plenty of sunshine. That'll boost those highs in the upper 60s to sunspots right around 70 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
1, 2, 3. Here at The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan. If you love a good pie analogy,
think of the cap as a pie. And once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
Then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are, and I'm proud to tell you about my friends at Diamond Cellar who know that forever starts with the perfect diamond. For over 78 years, their family has helped generations of couples celebrate love with brilliance, quality, and unbeatable prices. At Diamond Cellar, bigger diamonds at better prices are their promise to you. Whether you're popping the question or upgrading your sparkle, trust the experts at Diamond Cellar because diamonds are their forte. Visit Diamond Cellar today, Sawmill Road, Easton Town Center. Learn more at diamondcellar.com. We have NFL trade deadline today. Not sure. We already have a deal with the Bengals with Logan Wilson going to Dallas. Nothing major yet on any really front in terms of something that you would qualify as a major move. One of the things you're curious about with a little more than 5 hours, a little less than 5 hours to go before the deadline closes at 4. Will the Cleveland Browns be buyers or sellers? The reporting over the weekend is that they would be buyers. I would just table that with this one little postscript, which would say, if there is an opportunity to steal someone the way that they did, I think, with Amari Cooper, then I think they would be open to that. But I don't think they're going to give away any young, controllable asset for anything, and I don't think they'll give up important draft capital for anything. I think those two things will be largely untouchable for them. One thing that isn't untouchable, and we found this out yesterday afternoon, is that play calling will no longer be Kevin Stefanski's forte. So last year he did this as well. It was after Game 7. He turned over play calling to Ken Dorsey, Week 7 rather, and turned the play calling over to Ken Dorsey. Yesterday he turned the play calling over to Tommy Rees. Here was Kevin on why.
I'm going to have Tommy call the plays on offense. These are things that I'm always looking at. What can we do better? I have a ton of trust and faith in Tommy. He's more than capable, so excited for him. But bottom line is we have to just get better collectively. So that's offense, that's defense, that's special teams, that's players, that's coaches. So that's our charge, and that's what we're working hard to do.
Here was Kevin on if Tommy can put a new spin on the offense.
Without a doubt, and I think it's important, Mary Kay, that those meetings and the discussion that happens Monday through Saturday is as important as the order in which those plays come off on Sunday. So I just think all of us as coaches on all sides of the ball, but in this case offense, we have to do our job. We have to do our job putting our guys in positions to succeed, and then it's an opportunity on Sundays to go execute. But I think it's very important what we do during the week and putting a plan together that our guys are confident in. That's really important.
Here's two things I know about Tommy Rees. Met him a couple of times, but I also You want to go to people who you trust and you're curious what their thoughts are on somebody. I know this, and I reached out to him when he was first hired with the Browns. Threes really liked him. He really liked him when the both of them were at Notre Dame, really liked his ability to play, his feel for play calling, and liked him a lot. Another guy who really liked him was Mike Vrabel. And there was some talk that Vrabel going to New England might bring Tommy with him as his offensive coordinator. And going to Josh McDaniels, that worked out pretty well, but Vrabel liked him a lot. Now, what does this mean for Kevin Stefanski? I don't know. I don't know what this means. Kevin Stefanski got the job in Cleveland because of his ability to call plays, his ability to scheme it up. If you think about the early tenure when they had Baker and Jarvis and Odell and all of Nick Chubb, all of that, so many things that they would scheme up would be set up in previous weeks on film, and then they would do something that looked exactly the same 2 weeks later, and they would do something else out of it. We're not seeing as much of that. So maybe that's a factor in all of this. The other thing that could be a factor in all of this, and this isn't scores either, this is just a little bit of common sense, they spent training camp with 4 quarterbacks. Tommy Rees had a pretty good handle on those 2 young guys. Right now, they have a quarterback room with 2 rookies and Bailey Zappi. So Rees's ability from the college game to work with young quarterbacks has to factor into this to a certain extent. What will it mean in terms of what they are offensively? I still think they have incredible limitations when it comes to offensive firepower, and there's only so much you can scheme around that. But my hunch, this has a lot to do with getting another set of eyes on it and someone who worked very closely with those 2 young quarterbacks throughout the offseason, through camp, and potentially can see the game in a way that they can. That's my guess is what this is all about.
And a lot of this season was throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. This feels that. I think the best hope for this is he can unlock something in Dylan Gabriel that Browns fans are hoping to see push the ball down the field, and maybe this becomes that. I'm not interested in having the Shedeur conversation really until they make him available to practice, which he did not do yesterday because he's dealing with a back injury. But I would be comfortable if in this situation you go the next 4 games with Tommy Rees and the Dylan Gabriel experience and you start to rev up Shedeur and see if it doesn't work out by that game after they're playing the 49ers on November 30th. Then you've got Shedeur to start that game against the Tennessee Titans on 12-7 because the idea for this Browns season for me was to see if one of those 2 quarterbacks could be part of your future plans. There's still time to do that because the winning's surely not going to happen, but can the development of the quarterback come along with Tommy Rees for Dylan Gabriel? If not, then I think you give it till at least I don't know, maybe when you go out to Las Vegas, you take Shedeur. I don't know, but Shedeur's got to practice before you feel comfortable throwing him out in an NFL game.
So I've got a couple things here, and I feel like none of them are good for Kevin Stefanski.
None of this is good.
Number one, if Kevin Stefanski, who is supposed to be a brilliant offensive mind, isn't calling plays, what good is he on your team? Because he sure doesn't seem like a guy who's rah-rah and follow me to freedom. He doesn't seem like a guy who handles in-game situations super well because it seems like there's always questions about that. So I don't know what the purpose of him is. Also, if he's such a great offensive, brilliant mind, why is this the second time now he's given up play calling? Maybe Kevin Stefanski is just a guy, and this is okay. Maybe he's just a guy that is a really good offensive coordinator, but he's not cut out to be a head coach. And I kind of feel like this is enough. And I don't know if you gain anything from changing your head coach in the season. And I understand that Kevin Stefanski has been a 2-time coach of the year in the National Football League. I also think that's kind of a perception thing a little bit, too, in the fact that Ohio State never wins Big Ten Coach of the Year because you just expect Ohio State to be great all the time. When Cleveland does something good, it's like, oh, my gosh, this has to be revolutionary what this guy is doing because the Browns are never good. I think it's time for Cleveland to have a parting of ways with this head coach, because if he's not calling plays, if he can't continue to call plays, if he has to keep giving it up, I don't know what he's here for.
By the way, if Ohio State goes undefeated with this team and Ryan doesn't win Coach of the Year in the Big Ten, what are we doing?
I mean, it's going to go to Kurt Cignetti.
Well, your guy.
Like, you already know that we're already setting it up.
Didn't he win
for
it last year?
Yeah.
Like
it never happened.
This is even
this year
more
for Ryan. Like, what do you want? I mean, he's got a freshman second-year quarterback. He's replaced 8 starters on defense. Like, if they go undefeated and they win the Big Ten, my God, what does he got to do?
Listen, anybody can do it once, Bo, but to do it twice.
He's got to have to win the SEC to win Big Ten Coach of the Year, I think is where we're getting at.
He's going to win the SEC. I think Reese, you said this on the Shedeur front. I would point, at Raiders. That's kind of the one I would point to.
It does feel too soon because he hasn't practiced.
No, and they still have 9 games left. Like, there's a ton of football left to be played. But, if you don't see this offense start to head in the right direction at Jets this week, then Ravens at home, if those two don't go well and you're not able to move the ball, then at that point, I think you've given a pretty good run up. And you can just lean back to ownership's comments before this summer when they said, we need to get a look at these 2 guys. So you're going to have to see them play football games. And you need to see them play NFL regular season games. And so in order to know how you're going to attack the offseason, you have to see both of the. Now, here's the other thing with both of them. We're not in that building. We don't know what's going on in those quarterback rooms. We don't know what's going on at practice. We don't have access to that. This isn't training camp where you can watch everything all the time. You can't. It's been a long time since training camp. So, but you do need to see both of them go. And there is a stretch of games that is, they still have some brutal games left. They got the Ravens at home on the 16th. They got the Niners at home on the 30th. Then they got the Bills on the 21st. Followed by the Steelers on the 28th. Those are the home games they have left. Ravens, Niners, Titans, Bills, Steelers. 5 of them. And they're all heavy sledding. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen today. I think they could go in a lot of different ways. Go ahead.
Bo, I'm going to pay attention to the scores from earlier and just write it down that the Browns are trading for Mac Jones at some point, or they're signing him in the offseason, and then they can go out and they can draft Caleb Downs and they can draft Carnell Tate, and maybe we'll have something for next year.
Yes, do that. Just get Carnell Tate, whatever you have to do to get him on this roster.
But Mac Jones will be a Cleveland Brown next year, is what I've heard this morning.
Quarterbacks, yeah. Give me Carnell Tate, please.
All right. As for the Bengals, how do you rebound from the last 2 weeks? Zach Taylor's the man entrusted to do it. I think they dug too big of a hole. Will they be sellers? They've already sold one. Will there be more coming from Cincinnati and even Pittsburgh? We'll get to all of that coming up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
5 words no one wants to hear. You need a new roof. What do you do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and these are all questions that run through people's minds when they hear those 5 words. But if you pick up the phone and call Victor's Home Solutions, your new roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. Victor's has thousands of 5-star ratings for both customer service and high-quality installation. Plus, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And since no one wants to pay these high interest rates for a limited time, Victor's is offering 5-year, no-interest financing with minimum monthly payments for qualified buyers. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. Victor's Home Solutions has your back. It starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. It assesses the exact condition of your roof and what needs to be done next. Set up your inspection today. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS or online at victors.com.
At Giant Eagle, we're working hard to bring more ways to save to every aisle. Because every dollar and every moment counts. At Giant Eagle, we're going for better so you can bring home the best. Because it matters.
Active military or veteran planning your next career move? Start at Columbus State Community College. Columbus State equips you with the skills to launch a high-tech career in Columbus's fastest-growing fields, including cybersecurity, software development, and more. That's why employers fueling Central Ohio's tech boom hire our graduates. Plus, our veteran services team will help you maximize your benefits and connect to a supportive campus community. Take the first step. Apply at cscc.edu/IT.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, we did have a trade here in the last couple of minutes in the NFL. The Raiders are trading wide receiver Jacoby Myers to Jacksonville in exchange for a 4th and a 6th. Shefty pointing this out astutely. Jaguars have all sorts of wide receiver issues. Travis Hunter is out indefinitely. Brian Thomas is dealing with a low-grade ankle sprain. So a wide receiver help coming to Jacksonville. In terms of the teams we pay closest attention to, nothing yet from the Browns. The Bengals did deal Logan Wilson to Dallas. He was benched earlier in this season after being really a defensive stalwart for them for much of his early career out of Wyoming. Defense, it's odd that I get it, but I think the thing that I'm curious about with them is what do they do with Trey Hendrickson? Do they view this season as lost? Zach Taylor was asked about that directly. How do you make sure that this is not a lost season? Here's what his answer was.
We've talked about this. This can't be a lost season for us. This has got to be, we got to come out of this bye rejuvenated and find a way to win. And winning one game certainly propels you, and you've got to build some momentum off of that. We had a chance after the Pittsburgh game and kind of wasted 2 opportunities there. And how much different things could have been if we had finished these 2 games out. We'd still have issues we have to address, but we'd be in a better position. And so we just got to find a way to kickstart that and build our own momentum there. So we got players, young and old, that are accountable. They all want to do well. They're all, again, I say this a lot, they're all made of the right stuff. We have a good locker room. I know yesterday it was frustrating and emotional after a game like that. That's not to be unexpected, but we'll just continue to get back to work and keep grinding.
How is this not going to be a lost season for them? I mean, they're at Steelers coming out of the bye, then Patriots at home, at Ravens, at Bills, Ravens at home. Can they win one of those? Now you're talking about 4-10. with a stretch of at Dolphins, Cardinals, and Browns to close it. I see no scenario how they're anything better than 6-11.
It became a lost season when you lose to the Jets and the Bears the way you did the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You had a chance after the Pittsburgh win, and it was like, wow, optimism is at an all-time high. Look at Flacco. And then you did what you did the last 2 Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lost season, Zach.
I do think that I wonder if he sees, along with this season, his coaching mortality like slowly fade away with this season. So I do think that where he sits up there and says, we're going to keep grinding, we're going to keep watching the film, we're going to keep doing whatever we can, is because this is the team that he's got. This is what they've got to do the rest of the season. And because they went all in from a contract standpoint with their offensive talent and with Trey Hendrickson, or at least giving Trey Hendrickson a raise, there's no more heads to roll. Like Lou Anarumo was the scapegoat last year, and now this falls on Zach. And I think he sees that. I just don't know how he can't.
What is his contract? Did he get a new one?
Not that
I believe it's through next year, right?
Yeah, it's only through next year. So the Bengals don't pay people not to work. So, would they fire him after this year? How do you factor the Burrow thing into it? The thing that's really crazy to me is trying to wrap your head around, because it does feel more and more likely that the Bengals in an era for their franchise that netted them a Super Bowl appearance, which should not be taken for granted, should not be brushed off, should be appreciated and revered. It's very difficult to get there. Very difficult. And they've supplied a ton of awesome moments despite a bunch of injuries to Burrow. But are they going to come out of this stretch having compensated all these guys and be looking around with one Super Bowl appearance?
Yes.
That's what it feels like now. Because I don't know how you're about ready to get to a spot where you've committed all of this salary on the offensive side of the ball. And if you don't hit on all of your picks defensively, you really need to. What does it net you? So I would trade Trey Hendrickson today. I see no scenario how this season is saved in terms, and if you define saved as a playoff team. There's no changing.
That's the only way you can do it. I mean,
that's what I think.
The floor for the Bengals going into the year was playoffs. It was playoffs or bust.
Yeah.
And I do think right now where Cincinnati's at, this will hurt my heart, and this might hurt the heart of Browns fans. But where you're at, you could trade T. If another team is interested in a receiver, a guy that could be a wide receiver 1, and then you could put yourself into the Carnell Tate position.
Do you think it's I just don't know if they could do that to Burrow. Like if they could look him in the eye after trading Higgins. I don't know if you could do that.
You could do it if you got Carnell Tate next year in the draft.
I just think that you have the reasonable discussion to him is your foot doesn't work, sir.
But I also don't know if I don't know this, and I'm not going to speak out of my depth on this. I don't know if they even can do that. Like there was all those rumors about Cleveland last week. Like should they trade Myles Garrett for a bounty of picks or whatever? He's basically untradeable because of the contract. That it's so much dead cap that he's not that they would want to. I mean, he's the face of the franchise, quite literally. But like, even if you wanted to, I don't think you can based on those contracts. So that's the thing that could be that could be in place with T. Higgins as well. Is even if you wanted to trade T, could you because of the cap hit that you'd take back on the other end? I think the Hendrickson thing's the layup. Like I would do that right now. I would trade him for a 3 and let's start rebuilding this thing because you're not winning anything. It is malfeasance. If they let today come and go and don't deal Trey Hendrickson, you're not winning anything. You have to look yourself in the mirror and be honest at some point.
Joe, the issue is with your piece of the pie.
Oh, yeah.
And Jamar's piece of the pie. And then T's piece of the pie. We have too much of the pie going to the passing game. We have to spread out this pie.
You built the pie, man. I mean, you baked it.
He asked
You're the one who
for it.
made the size of those pieces.
Be a heck of a thing if they just sat on their hands today, but
yeah. The other thing that's very real with them, and Wolfman Matt makes a great point, I mean, their offense has been great. That's Zach's business. But then why, too, did he fire Lou Anarumo? It's not like Lou Anarumo forgot how to coach defense.
Lou was somebody had to fire.
Somebody had to fire because you didn't win enough, and you blew it last year. You lost a bunch of 30-point games. The reality is, this is a simple business, guys. You have to hit on your picks. You have to hit on your picks. If you don't hit on your picks, you are chasing it forever. And they've missed on picks defensively. They just have. They've drafted a bunch of defensive guys. They've drafted a bunch of offensive linemen. They just haven't been good at that. That's been the issue. So to me, the Hendrickson thing is a no-brainer. I would recoup and get more shots at that thing. The other thing, too, I just was looking at this on the Jacoby Myers front. The Steelers were in on him, too. I do think the Steelers could be active at the deadline for offensive weaponry. It does feel like their defense simplified last week and was really good, and they certainly have big-time talent there. So if they can get Rodgers another weapon, it's pretty stupefying that they won. Now, Indy turned it over 6 times, but that they won with only 2 completions for 6 yards to DK Metcalf. So they don't really have anything that anybody fears in the passing game, and I do wonder I think they could be a team that could potentially try to do something at wide receiver, because you've got Rodgers really for this year, maybe next at most, is probably what it is. You're in a very short window here.
Yeah, you don't just bring in Aaron Rodgers at the twilight of his career to sit on your hands at the deadline. Like, they're the surprising team to me that hasn't done anything right now. And again, it's 11:40, so like Rothman and Ice are probably going to get all the juicy trade deadline information. If it's so weird because this was Schefter, this was anybody with that had NFL reporter in their Twitter X handle was like, it's going to be busy.
Yeah,
we're waiting.
I was kind of surprised that the Steelers weren't in on Tyler Lockett before he signed with the Raiders. And I know that makes sense. Reunite him with Pete Carroll. He had a lot of success with Pete Carroll in Seattle, but he also had a lot of success being a duo partner with DK Metcalf. I was kind of surprised the Steelers weren't in on him.
I don't have a problem. I'm with you. I think that if something comes available in the weapons market, I'll tell you what, if you can sell defensive ends, offensive line, or weapons, you're going to get a premium in the next 4.5 hours.
I know the Saints have said they don't want to, but gosh, if they made Olave available and I'm the Steelers, I'm running to the phone.
Yes. Yeah, Aaron would love him because he is where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there, which is helpful. 3 things on a Tuesday. In addition to that, major award news for the Buckeyes. We'll get all of that in our final segment coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Progressive Insurance. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
The Daily Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is a Daily Show with Coach Ryan Day, brought to you by Safe Light Auto Glass. Looking back at Julian Sayin, the way he played against Penn State. Once you watched the film, what were some of the things that jumped off the chart at you, Ryan?
I think, he's seeing the coverage as well. His preparation has allowed him to anticipate as opposed to react. His accuracy downfield was excellent in this game. I thought his footwork was good. And then it was good to see him, scramble on that 3rd down and make a play with his feet. Just another good afternoon for Julian. He's getting better each week, and we know we need to play really good down the stretch. He understands that, but I think every week he's gaining more and more confidence.
Okay, we'll have another comment in just a moment. Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safe Light Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at SafeLight.com. Safe Light Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado beer.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Ryan, when you talk about Julian saying the way he's played and his accuracy, is that a skill that is kind of developed, but is it a combination also of God-given ability?
Oh, yeah, no, we get all the credit for all the drills we do on that. No, it's accuracy is something that's, you can't teach that. You can talk to a quarterback about where he looks or where he puts his arm and his footwork and all those things, but there's just a certain level of anticipation, touch. First off, you have to be able to physically do it. And then the second part is you have to be able to see the bodies moving and anticipate and put the ball in those locations. And so your mind has to move quickly, but you have to have the accuracy, just to throw the football where you need to throw it. So, yeah, I would say that if Julian went to the carnival, he'd make a lot of money or win a lot of stuffed animals.
This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
When it comes to all-wheel drive vehicles, nobody gives you more to choose from than Toyota, including the best-selling Camry and the best-selling RAV4.
You've also got Toyota's 5 Brothers, which include the best-selling Tacoma and the legendary new 4Runner.
All-wheel drive gives you the traction you need for confident driving on any road, in any weather.
With 25 different all-wheel drive choices, there's only one thing you need to know.
Nobody knows all-wheel drive better than Toyota. Let's go places.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Looking for bold flavors and award-winning spirits? High Bank Distillery is your destination for handcrafted cocktails, locally inspired dishes, and whiskey war, the nationally recognized whiskey. Stop by their Grandview, Gahanna, and Westerville locations this week. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
A system for every home and every budget at Logan AC and Heat Services. Get a free Trane furnace with the purchase of an air conditioner and tax credits up to $3,200. Schedule your free estimate now. Logan Services.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The final season of Yellowstone might just be Bo's dad live on YouTube. What's the difference anyway? This is Bishop and Friends.
This is really cool. By the way, Ryan Day's presser will be coming up here in about 13 minutes from now. Really cool from the Buckeye side of things. Starting to get some finalists, semifinalists for the various awards that are out there. 13 semifinalists for the Lombardi Award, 3 Buckeyes. 3 of the 13 play here. Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Caden Curry. The Butkus Award, 2 Buckeyes are semifinalists, Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles. Ohio State is the only team with 3 semifinalists out of the 13 in Lombardi, and the only team with 2 of the 12 semifinalists for the Butkus. My guess is a couple of things we can kind of take from this. Number one, Threes can coach some linebackers. He can coach some linebackers. He's got 2 of them right there. These are 2 guys, by the way, and I've said this many times. These are 2 guys he identified. Give them to me. Give me these 2 guys, and look at what's happened. 2 semifinals for the Butkus. It's crazy out of 12, and 3 of the 13 semifinals for the Lombardi. It's an interesting thing Ari said when he said, are there 5 better players in the country than the top 5 at Ohio State? He might be exactly right. What do we have on the poll today, Reese?
A Daily Fan poll asks, where do you think Ohio State will land in tonight's first college football playoff rankings? So that'll be at 8 o'clock. You can join Timmy Hall and Tyvis Powell on the Fans YouTube channel at 8 o'clock as well. So you'll have it on the television. Or I guess you won't if you're a YouTube TV subscriber. But Timmy and Tyvis will be the watch along. But your options for the Daily Fan poll are 1, 2, 3, or lower. 74% of respondents said the Buckeyes are going to be number 1 when the first CFP rankings are out tonight.
That's where I'm at, too. Are you guys that way? Do you guys have them 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the committee will put them. They just know they're the best
Just
team.
the gulf between Ohio State, A&M, Illinois, or Indiana, I should say, is too much in the AP and in the coaches' polls.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's how it's going to play out. Time for 3 things on a Tuesday. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
I'm going to have a couple in regard today with the 3-year-old golden retriever, Buddy Garrity. I think, starting number 1, I think he might have the best life of all of us. I really mean that. I mean, he's crushing smoked bone marrow and all of these little treats that he gets. He's got some acreage to run around in, 3 acres or whatever he can cruise around in. And then in the neighborhood, like, he's got a pretty good friend group. I mean, you got Gus right next door, his buddy Gussie. They hang out all the time. His buddy Bailey's just right around the corner. They hang out all the time. And now we've added another puppy golden and another puppy boxer into the mix. It's a nice little gang he's got going here. I think of all of us in this household, he's the one living his best life.
Yeah, we say that similarly with Odie because he just lays about the house. He gets let out. He gets food. Everything just handed to him.
Right.
Little ingrate.
What have you worked for?
Yeah. I wrote this down yesterday and forgot about it until about an hour ago. And then I was reminded about it. It angered me. There was chatter yesterday on the social media about Deshaun Watson and his 21-day window. If Deshaun Watson takes a snap for the Cleveland Browns before Shedeur Sanders, I am done with the Cleveland Browns. That's it.
I just saw Bo's face. I think this might be happening.
That's it.
I don't know what that reaction was, but
I'm so mad at this stupid team.
First thing for me, sad that the funeral and burial of Nick Mangold going on right now in New Jersey. Just think of getting to know Bob the little bit that I have and Jay-Z the way that I have over the years. Just feel super, super bad for them right now as they lay one of their teammates to rest. And, you know, the Buckeye Brotherhood around here, so the Depots and the Dane Sanzenbachers and the Tyvises, they all know who Nick Mangold was. Feel really bad for all those guys. And, of course, Nick's family, all the teammates that he's had ever. Just a super, super sad situation.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. And great job, Ohio State, honoring him over the weekend. That's that thing that Threes and Bob and all those guys that we know really well, Tyvis, Joshua, Zwicky, all the folks, that's that brotherhood thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'll just make this my number 2. That it is unique here. It is unique. The winning is a big part of it, but there is a tie that binds through generations here that is unique, and there's a million factors for it. But it's pretty special when you take a look back and see just how big that brotherhood is and how big those arms are that they wrap around each other.
And this will be before I give my second thing, but it's been awesome to see just the tributes for him roll out and just the amount of people that come out and say he was just the best dude. Also, go vote today. Exercise your democratic right. It is the coolest thing you can do. It is an awesome thing that we get to have as Americans to have that privilege. Don't take it lightly.
Second thing for me, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. There are 3 teams in college football that have not given up more than 24 points in a game this year. One of those is Ohio State. The other is Indiana. The third is Auburn. And I do preach all the time on this show, you have to win your games. Go win your games. And I know Auburn had not won games this year so far. I think they're going to regret getting rid of Hugh Freeze, though. I know he's a terrible person. That doesn't mean he can't coach. I think they're going to regret this.
Yeah, I think college football is going to have to get used to teams having losses, especially in that conference.
Nope, I'm not going to do it.
You're just going to have to get used to it in certain places. Finally, number 3 for me. So I conducted this little experiment. I was curious which treat Buddy Garrity liked more, celery or apples. Now, I prefer giving him celery because I like listening to him crunch it. So I tried, and I would put him down. All right, I put him down at the same time. I'd put put celery in the left hand, apple in the left, and then rotate it, then put him down at the same time. Here's the thing. He just likes the one to his right first. It doesn't even matter what it is. Just give me the one to the right, Dad. I'm eating that thing first, then I'm eating the second. So my experiment proved that he eats whatever is to his right first.
I'm going to have to try that with Odie today.
Yeah, give it a little thought. Yeah, give it a little experiment. See if he's got any sort of any changes to it.
It's going to be a busy one, but I'm going to give a quick hearty go Bobcats tonight. The Battle of the Bricks tonight at 7 o'clock. That'll be where my eyes are on, and I'll be a companion piece on the YouTube chat with Timmy and Tyvis when they do the CFP rankings at 8.
Final thing for me, the Ryan Day press conference coming up next. Rothman and Ice will follow. They'll have, I guess, immediate reaction from Tyvis Powell and Austin Ward.
They'll also have you covered when it comes to the NFL trade deadline today at 4 o'clock if anything major happens. We are back tomorrow. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bishop and Fred's right here on The Fan.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State